You guys give me if I kill that bird. That's a bald eagle. Get away, bald eagle! Yeah! Well, that was fun, was it not? No, I have your mic off. What?
No.
I know. This is the Word with Mike P and SteveGubsRadio.com. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. We are live on Facebook and live on YouTube. A little tough there getting things going when something doesn't work and then things go even worse. That's fine. Well, you know what's great?
It can always get worse.
No. It can always be edited.
Oh.
It can always be edited. That's the great thing about it. It can always be edited away. I can wipe this all.
My head was in a completely different place.
I can just wipe it all away, and everything will be fine. Yes, again, it'll be great. This is the Word Mike P. SteveGubsRadio.com. We are here live at the biggest and the baddest comedy club in all of Long Island, at Gov's Comedy Club in Levittown. We got a great show for you tonight. We're glad to be back in studio. Minus Steve. We'll tell you where Steve is a little later, but maybe he'll
in Howe Caverns.
No, we did all that already. That's what you've been doing when you were gone. So let's get right into it. Let's talk a little bit about. Why don't you start it off with Beer Maker? Let's
Beer
do
Maker
something crazy tonight.
Beer Maker.
Crazy.
They're still sponsoring us?
Yeah.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah.
Beer Maker, your at-home all-grain countertop brewing system.
Wait. You might want to pay attention a little more to our show. I'm just saying. All right, guys, just go for a beer.
The toddler.
Talk about that later.
Attention to the fucking lunatic toddler, all right?
All right, fair enough.
Beer Maker, your at-home all-grain countertop smart brewing system. Mm-hmm. Brew all your favorite styles, porters, stouts.
Those are your favorites.
Hazies.
Yes.
Porters are not my favorites.
No?
Mexican lagers.
Yes.
Maybe an Oktoberfest.
Right now?
For sure, pumpkin.
Mm.
All the things. Beer Maker, BERMKR.com.
I like Leaf Pile. We'll get to that why in a minute.
Yeah.
One of my favorite first seasonals.
Great.
Yeah, BRMKR. Also go to our Instagram in our bio. We have a link to the link tree, which gives you to your own private page for Beer Maker. Go to BERMKR.com. Receive 10% off your Beer Maker. Yeah.
There you go.
We're also sponsored by Rosie's Draft Solutions. Rosie's Draft Solutions is a Long Island family-owned business that provides professional draft beer system services. I know why he skips on that part now. Line cleanings and maintenance and more. Draft beer line system installs, event dispensing solutions, and wow, so much more. They are passionate about the craft beer industry and making sure that it has the same quality as when it left the brewery. And that is done by making sure that the draft system is perfect, clean, and tight. I'll even say the tight part this time.
Tweet.
Rosie's Draft services bars, restaurants, halls, events, and all other beverage establishments, including home kegerators.
I saw one of the guys from, I can't remember where the hell I saw them the other day.
Yeah?
So someone get out of the car, and I'm like, oh, that's the Rosie's.
Nick? Yeah, Nick. Yeah, it's
his dad?
Yeah. Or maybe his dad. It was the older man. Yeah, it was Dad. Okay. They do home kegerator installs on Long Island and all across Westchester. Reach them at Rosie's Draft Solutions at
not Staten Island.
Rosie's Draft Solutions at gmail.com or call them 631-219-2075 Monday through Sunday 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. And I'll leave Steve to tell us what happens if you give him a call.
No one likes to take the Verrazano.
No, that's not what it's about.
No one
Have you been following the show? You never listen to the shows when you're not here?
I do not.
Wow. It's your own show. Your name's on the bill. You don't even listen to the own show when you're not here? We're also sponsored by Brewers Hardware. I'm canceling the show. That's it. Brewers Hardware. Not tonight's show. I'm just saying in general. Brewers Hardware for your large capacity of small batch needs. Go to brewershardware.com and in the promo code type in Wort to receive your 10% off your tri-clamps. Pretty much tri-clamps, right?
Tri-clamps.
Yeah.
All the fittings. Maybe some hoses.
A lot of hoses. Go to brewershardware.com.
No hops, though.
No.
Strictly hardware.
Yes.
No ingredients.
Nope. Yeah, no, we're good. That's pretty much it in a bottle, so I appreciate you chiming in. BrewersHardware.com. We're also sponsored by Brewbag. Brewbag for your beer pong cornhole. Go to brewbag.com or go to our Instagram. And in our bio is a link tree. You go right to your private page where you can get your own Brewbag. This is beer pong cornhole. You get a nice little vinyl
It's like
wrap.
cornhole.
Yeah,
but more alcoholic.
Way more alcoholic. And personalized for all those breweries
Yes.
and businesses that want to slap their vinyl
Yes.
logo on there. Go to brewbag.com today. And we are here. You and Pete
Yay.
and I are
Did I
in
miss
the
anything?
studio. No. No. You here for the Brewers Guild?
I was not. No.
No, so that's what you missed.
No. Okay.
Which you kind of didn't listen to.
Were
You
they
have
also
no
on
idea
strike?
No, they're not on strike. No, they were great. Now, because we were promoting the
treasure hunt thing,
Lindenhurst, the treasure hunt, but the Lindenhurst, street fair that they had. It was all the LI Brewers Guild merch, and you got a bag, and it was $20, and all you can drink pretty much, and it was a good
How
time.
many more breweries have opened in your town since?
None yet. There's still 3 breweries, a meadery, and
they're all
a brew
better
pub
than-
coming.
All better than my town.
And I'm going to be honest with you, like my town has not turned more alcoholic than it already was. So
Well, I mean, Lindenhurst does have a
tendency
long
to
and
drink.
not proud history.
No, it's
of
proud.
lots and
We're
lots of drinking
proud of our
establishment.
German heritage and our ability to drink massive amounts of alcohol and
Yeah.
still operate heavy
We
machinery.
did have we were in
don't
the
ag-
Guinness Book of World Records at
Yeah.
one time for
Yeah,
most bars per capita,
which is
on Main
fantastic.
Street, so.
Let's get to our guests. Enough with the banter, huh? We have Kate and Greg from Greenport. Yay!
Hi.
What's up,
Hey
guys?
What's up?
Thanks for coming in, man. Making the drive in the
I know it
weather
was a long
tonight.
drive, yeah.
It's
thank
a,
you.
it's a trek.
God.
Easy, wasn't it? Yeah.
I mean, I drove 25 minutes, and I was like, ugh, freaking weather stinks.
Very Seattle. It's
I
very
have
Seattle
been.
out.
I was telling them right before the show. It's been one of our things, Pete. That
Yes.
we've wanted Greenport
We wanted you guys on for a long time
because it's been like for me, and especially this time of year, my first love of craft beer. And I always went with we do Steve's questions
Yes.
and stuff like that. I never say what was that one beer, because it was a seasonal. It wasn't that one beer, but it turned me on to seasonals.
Seasonals.
I'll say that. Because Leaf Pile, to me, was one of those first beers I'm like, oh, we can do so much more to beer. When that
Yes.
first dropped, I'm
Seasonals
saying to
were,
myself, this is
I think
something
they're
that...
still where it's at, but
yeah, absolutely. And it was the first time, and I don't... This is I'm going to hear your guys' opinion on this, but my first time I actually had the sugar rim was with a Leaf Pile. Not with an Oktoberfest.
cinnamon sugar.
Yeah, not with the actual. I wouldn't call it a pumpkin beer. I call it a fall beer. But it was the first time they did that. And I was working at Muttontown Country Club, and they were one
As
of
one
the
does.
few country clubs in that Gold Coast area that was bringing in craft beer because my friend Vinny and I couldn't stop telling them to bring craft beer on. And there was one other member, forget his name, Irishman, that I remember, McCloskey.
Sure.
He kept saying, we need some
That's close
IPAs,
enough.
we need some seasonals, and we always had Stella and, Coors
Palm.
Light. Whatever, it's a golf
no,
outing.
you definitely had Palm.
No, we didn't.
Yes.
No, we didn't.
Oh, no, I'm
that
thinking
was
of the other-
that was
Yes.
our work wives
Yes.
place that always had Palm.
Yes.
You don't even see Palm anymore. All right, we'll get back to
That's
that.
fine.
Greg and Kate,
We're
thanks a
not
lot for
missing
joining us, guys. Really quick before we begin, give us a call, 516-465-3990. You can win gifts and prizes. Also, a chance to win 2 tickets to Blue Point Cast Fest, which is
Yay!
coming up. on
That's always a good time.
November
Yes.
4th. Oh, God. I mean, we're going to reminisce because we've had some fun times. And I've been to some of the old ones back at River Road.
Yeah.
And I think I've told partial of the stories on this show, but it's great time. So how are you guys? Thanks a lot for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
It's great to have you. And like I said, check off the bingo card for us for sure. And not in all in a bad way. Not in all
you
in a
fucking
bad
not
way.
do it.
I'm throwing it. I'm going to do it for you. Let's go backwards. It's been a while that Greenport has been on the map.
Yep.
I put it right there with Blue Point because you guys are kind of in the same first class Long Island coming up and establishing craft beer breweries in our area.
Yeah.
How did this all start?
You want me to take this?
Are you sure you want me to take this?
At some point, you will need to shut me up. So just
You got to pull that mic closer if you want her to shut you up.
started about 15 years ago. 2 partners, Rich and John, went to college together and had kind of been into craft beer during the first kind of iteration of craft beer. This
Called it
was
the first wave.
the first
I like
wave,
that,
right?
yeah.
First wave craft beer. Got into it. Found a spot out in Greenport, old firehouse next to an old jail.
Yeah. Which was part of the
have
allure.
you guys been there?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Part of the allure was like going over to that side and seeing the door with the jail cell on that.
Yeah, no doubt.
I loved Greenport. Greenport was a great place to go.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like...
It still is a great village.
Did I say what? I didn't mean it was.
When did it stop?
No, it didn't. It didn't. No,
When
I mean...
was Greenport great, and why is it no longer
I'm reminiscing more
The
like
bigger
thinking,
question is, how do we make it great again?
Yes.
Ooh, can it get
Do
much
you have a
greater?
red hat with that logo on?
Make Greenport great again? That would be fantastic.
Sorry.
It was right there.
Yeah, no.
We're just lobbing
low-hanging
softballs to
fruit,
each other.
I'm going to turn it down. I'm hot. You guys hot?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. I got to turn this down a little bit. Let me know if it gets too cold. Then.
So Rich and John found the space, built out the space.
Nice.
Hired the first head brewer, DJ Swanson from John Harvard's brew house. That's
Yep.
where he was before, right?
Yeah.
And
Very much back in the day.
yeah, they
John
were back in the
Hartford's.
day too, right?
Yeah.
And that was another seasonal.
Yes.
That was
Yeah.
that wasn't the first, though, I'll be honest with you. I had that almost right as they were closing. Which, now I'm thinking about it, does that line up with the timeline here? I don't remember.
They
It was a while. It was a while
maybe
ago, right?
what, 5
Years-
years ago?
yeah.
Probably longer than
I
that.
think longer
seven,
than-
8
7,
years
8.
ago.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta like reestablish my time because COVID just screwed up life. I have no idea what's
time
going
does
on.
not exist.
No,
Everything's a circle.
So they opened up the
Yeah.
brewery, got things up and running, located right out in Greenport. And, as you said, we were one of the first, kind of new craft breweries on Long Island.
Yeah.
It was really, I think of Southampton Public House was another
Yes.
one that was kind of there and foundational to Long Island
Check that
craft.
off
Other
my
than
list
like
before
Blue
they
Point,
close.
there's not many that are older than than like 10, 12 years. Right?
Yeah,
That's
and I think we take
still any-
we take great pride in kind of having that heritage and that legacy with Long Island craft beer, but also continuing to kind of push the envelope with innovation and being part of the community and doing all that sort of stuff. And some of the beers that we brewed our first year are still around today.
Yeah,
Leaf Pile,
Leaf Pile.
that you mentioned being one of them. Summer Ale, Harbor Ale, Black Duck Porter.
that was the one I was.
I
thinking
remember.
of.
Yeah, Black Tuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another one.
That
Summer though, I remember when that first hit, distribution and it was
yeah, is that
available
the-
everywhere.
Behave? No.
No.
Yes,
Oh
it
wait,
says
yes, right.
Behave on
Yeah,
it.
so Summer Ale, goes
Kind of
back.
evolved.
And the can still says Behave on it. But we just call it Summer Ale now.
Yeah, and when that first came out, that was the 12 pack to the beach of choice.
Yes.
Prior to like things like Brooklyn Summer came out, and that
Summer.
got a wave of it.
Yeah.
I called it the bread and butter beer, but that summer was I remember having many of those, going over the beach, Fire Island, stuff like that.
That Summer Ale is still great.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
we
I'm saying it like it's gone. I know. I
Yeah,
apologize,
no.
but
No.
I'm going back and reminiscing.
Well, it's gone for this year, but
Yeah, well,
if you're good
you can find it. It's still
and you
around.
ask
If you
Santa,
behave.
Summer
Summer.
Santa,
yeah,
Yeah,
Behave.
Summer Santa.
come Memorial Day.
Yes, it's true. It'll be here before you know it.
Yeah, we hope.
Yeah.
But now it's Leaf Pile season.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of Leaf Pile.
So we were at, and I was mentioned before, the story is I worked at Mutton Town Country Club, and there was this push for like Sam Oktoberfest. And I'm going, okay, that's fine. A solid beer to have on there. But what if we got something with more flavor?
Yeah.
Something that was better, that supported the local community and stuff. And I pushed Dylan, who was the beverage manager at the time. I said, you need to get something a little more, I'm telling you, we went through so many kegs of that for the people that, let's say October time, well, even early September, into October. We pumped so many of those out of there for the golf outings. Oh, the golf guys loved it. That was
Fucking golf guys. You mean the leaf
loved
pile,
it.
right?
Yes, leaf. That's what I'm
Yes.
saying. What did I say?
Nothing.
No, leaf pile. Yeah, absolutely. And with the sugar rims available, we had some weddings and bar mitzvahs. I'm telling you, we ran through.
Goddamn sugar rims.
People like the sugar rim. We do it in our tasting room.
You can leave it as an option, yeah.
People, that's what they want. And,
I'm not a proponent much anymore because now I like the flavor of the beer rather than like the candiness of it, which was also very good, by the way. But I'm kind of over the sugar rim and more enjoy the core of what that beer is.
Yeah, well, it's a great brown ale to begin with that we put fresh whole spices in. It has fresh ginger, fresh whole nutmeg, cinnamon, allspice that we crush up every time the beer is made. So it's, no spice blends or powders or anything like that. Everything is, we go through we get 25-pound boxes of ginger that we process.
That's that's an interesting spice to be in beer, and it's hidden. It's not there. You only just get the sweetness of it.
A little bit of sweetness and a little bit of spiciness.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny when we run out of our kind of wholesale stock of it, have to go to the grocery store and get 5 pounds of it, and the checkout person is like, "What are you doing with all of it?"
A lot of stir fries.
It's the new Instagram challenge. You're doing the ginger challenge now.
Especially during COVID, they're like, "Are you making some sort of
home remedies?"
Mix this with some hydroxychloroquine, and you're off to the races.
That's what. Oh my God! As long as there's no cumin, just gets me. It just
You say cumin.
It's coming.
I spell cumin.
Cumin?
Not like a Q sound.
No, I would say.
I fucking love cumin, by the way. You don't like cumin?
No.
Oh my God.
No, it's okay in it's small doses.
No, large doses.
No,
it's not in beer.
Not in beer. Right.
How about that?
I like it. You just sugar your rib with cumin.
I mean, now I might. Now I might take a saison, do a little cumin red.
Like an Indian style michelada.
Yeah,
sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Have it with a Mexican lager and rim it with the with the cumin.
Cumin.
That's how I say it. Have you heard Gordon Ramsay call it
cumin? I don't know. That's just what I always called it.
I don't know. That's fine. I don't know.
That's fair.
Potato, sir. You guys, obviously those core beers were what put you on the map.
Yep.
All of them still around?
That's good.
Yeah, pretty much. The only beer that we started with that really hasn't stuck around was the first, I think, 2 years. We had a beer called Disorient IPA. And the joke was that, the tip of the North, obviously, Orient Point. But when we went and submitted that name to the TTB, they did not like that it kind of suggested drunkenness.
Oh,
so
interesting.
Were they aware of what product this label would be fixed to?
You know we're serving.
You can never really tell.
Yeah. That's interesting. So you really can't, they would knock down
really?
Like you couldn't call a beer drunken stupor?
I guess not. Who knows? It was a different time back then.
That's true. Yeah. There's only so many names and labels you can have nowadays. So
and there's just so many.
I know.
But one of our core beers right now. Some people would even say it may be one of our flagships is Other Side IPA. Mm-hmm. I think especially in a world of hazy IPAs, West Coast IPA with nice bitterness, bright, kind of the traditional C hops, a little bit of Simcoe in there, nice and citrusy and.
All the things I like.
Yeah, right.
You don't like the West Coast as much, right?
No,
not as much.
Which one do we have?
Why don't we try one?
Yeah,
let's do it.
Come on, we're gonna turn you tonight, Pete. We're gonna turn you tonight.
Yeah.
I like Other Side. I remember Disoriented. I remember early on. I definitely had a couple of those out in Greenport.
Yeah.
Now, when you guys opened, did you had the tasting room downstairs and then you opened up? Is that the progression that it took?
Yeah, so when we opened, the tasting room was downstairs, and there was that glass wall that was fun to work behind. It was kind of like a fishbowl type thing.
You're in a zoo.
Exactly.
Come see the brewers at the zoo.
Yeah, exactly.
The Greenport Zoo. Oh, I mean the brewery, sorry.
And, very early on, I think year 2, we opened up the tasting room upstairs, and that was a tasting room and art gallery.
Yes.
And
I like the vibe up there.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It's nice, and it allowed us to have a better, especially in the winter, tasting room experience.
Well, you needed more space, really. That's what
absolutely.
It is. You're a growing business.
The tasting room downstairs is what? Double this size, maybe? So it allowed us to move it upstairs. It allowed us to move some more tanks in downstairs, do some additional stuff. And
was that initially in the plans to expand to up, and they wanted to get open and get it going, or was that like something they had to
when
permitting thing or something?
When we started, we knew craft beer was a thing. We knew, we were excited to open. I don't think we expected it to grow just as fast as it did. Even with our move into New York City. We moved into New York City, after the first year.
And you called yourself Greenpoint?
Well, it's
I love
very, very confusing.
I
for
know it
folks.
is.
Every so often our chemicals one time were actually shipped to
Greenpoint?
Brewery.
Whoops.
Yeah.
I even remember, like, just in the world of social media now, which you didn't have, back then.
Yeah.
Tagging people and
Yeah.
like accidentally like shouting out or throwing stuff,
Yeah.
and then you go, "Oh crap! I put Greenpoint, not Greenport." All
Yeah.
right, bring that one down. It does kind of screw things up a little bit.
But we grew really, really quickly, and both with people, the North Fork at that time was kind of going through, some growth.
Yep.
People coming out from the city,
All the wineries,
all of that. That caused our beer. People were having beer in the tasting room or out at local North Fork restaurants, and then wanted to have it at their places in the city.
Yeah.
So they, very, very quickly, we had all the distributors reaching out. What can we do to get you in there? And very quickly, the tasting room was just too crowded, and we had to figure something out.
one of those good problems.
Yeah, this was one of those good problems, and even. So most of our beer right now is produced in Peconic. Even the transition from the Greenport Brewery to the Peconic Brewery was just kind of one of these things. We couldn't do any more out of that space.
I want to get into the Peconic opening and that
Yeah.
whole thing. I just have a few questions. Number one, when I was up in Greenport, actually now I'm thinking about it's not a question. One of the first times
Yep.
I ever had beer out of a Randall
Okay.
was at your tasting room in the upstairs. I remember
Really?
walking in and going, what is that?
Yeah.
And I think it was like gummy bears or Swedish fish it was running through or something
Yeah.
like that. And I, did my research. Dogfish head.
Yeah.
The Randall. Do you know what a
Yep.
Randall is, sir?
I don't.
You've seen it, though, probably. Just
Yes,
don't know the
it is
labeling.
a- You would put beer through it with an ingredient. So you put
Yes.
an ingredient between the
Fresh ingredient
Yeah.
through it, yeah. So, I mean, I guess the initial thing was maybe like a wet hop kind of.
27A does that every
Yes,
in
they
the
do
summer,
every
right?
so often, yeah. But that's the first time I ever had it. And it was actually, now I'm thinking about it, might have been like Jawbreakers or something. It was something very like mild, almost gave it like a melon flavor. And it was, I guess they were just putting a lager or an ale through it, so it took
Yeah.
on a little more of that flavor.
That's interesting.
But I remember seeing it at Greenport. Another Greenport memory I have. I'll continue. I got more. I got plenty of more.
I can tell you're ready to go.
I'm ready to go. So you guys, you got to your first floor now. That was all brewing when you moved upstairs, so you keep some of that down there for tasting room.
We have a tasting room downstairs still.
Still, okay.
That in the summers.
Because I go to Peconic now, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't been to Greenport, the actual town, in 5-10 years maybe. But I go to Peconic regularly.
Yeah,
once a year
and
at
it's
least.
great in the summer. It's great when we're doing events. One of the things that we're really excited that we're doing out of the Greenport facility right now is a program we call Ripples, which are these pilot batches that allow our brewers to kind of experiment with different things. And recently we did a release party that was downstairs where, Sean and Steve brewed a red ale of all things. And, you talk about, kind of going back old school.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Who's brewing a red ale these days? But it was great.
Not enough.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
enough.
Not for my taste.
1940s did that Imperial, didn't they?
Yeah, they did that. Well, you got to remember Long Island before it was
Yeah.
King.
Oh God, King Celtic. That
King
was
Celtic.
fucking outrageous.
Yeah, that one was
really good.
really, that was like an 8% red ale.
Yeah, it was.
But I liked, like 21st Amendment did a red, and it was delicious. And you can be bready and yeasty and still have a really solid beer. And I don't know why. I mean, I guess IPAs have pushed a lot of those
Nugget
styles.
Nectar was kind of a red
Yes.
beer. That beer was always fun when it came out. Trogs?
Yes. That's an amber. Yeah.
Yeah, amber red.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
I'm trying to think of the fucking label. I get that and another
it's
one of
just-
theirs confused.
You get I know
Is
which
that the
one.
one where they're squeezing the hop? Or
Yes.
is that something different?
Yep.
That is,
Yeah,
okay.
that's Nugget Nectar.
Yeah.
I can't tell you the last time I had one, but it's
They-
one of those
It's been out.
kind of
They
foundational
still put
beers
that
in
out
my
every
head.
year. But they look at a perpetual. I think that's what you're thinking of.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
I
with the
don't
two
like
hop-
perpetual.
hop-
I do like Nugget Nectar.
Yes. Yeah, both are very good. And the red ale, I mean, like you said, traditional, going with things like just standard box or something
Yes.
like that, right? I mean, so that you give them the opportunity. How many beers were created in that kind of?
They've done what? About 6 that
Close to half dozen,
we've put through, and
Any of them stick?
this
red ale
this
most
this red ale
specifically.
actually we're going to scale up to a 15 barrel
Nice.
batch
Nice.
this winter to do kind of a small draft seasonal thing.
That's cool. And tasting room only kind of thing.
Yeah.
Tasting room only.
Only
I
in
mean, we're
Greenport?
talking like half barrels.
Oh,
is
yeah,
what
yeah.
they're making.
Yeah, that's what they're
doing a
doing
great
now.
job.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they did a really good red ale. They did a great session IPA.
Yeah.
We have some more stuff coming on soon. Black
I'm
IPA.
actually I'm very excited about
Oh.
the red ale.
Yeah.
Yep. She said the magic word,
Which is?
black IPA.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
They
did. I
did a
missed
Yeah.
that.
great rendition of it.
Oh
Yes.
my goodness. There I go into the wall again. It's a completely wrong sounder. I meant to do that one. Instead, I did that one. Yeah, that's okay. I would have done that too had I drank enough black IPA. I love black.
So yeah,
But
this go on.
No. Yeah, well, that's what the Ripples program is too. Like in conjunction with our flagship and all these traditional beers that we have been doing for over a decade. We want to make sure everything's moving forward and keeping fresh and making sure that our staff is excited to come to work and to make beer.
To not make the same thing for the
Yeah,
75th
exactly.
time in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the schedule.
1,000%. So, you know,
Yeah.
it's beer first and then the culture right behind it because one informs the other. And we're really, really excited for what the staff brewers are putting out in Greenport right now.
Now, when you guys opened Peconic, did you have another brewing area prior to opening Peconic or an in-between as you were doing that?
No.
So you were just always in Greenport brewing downstairs,
Yep.
and then it was just a full-scale move.
Yep.
I mean, you kept
and,
some.
and we were operating both facilities.
Yeah.
And Greenport, has always been kind of our heart and soul and kind of the center of who we are.
the name on the can.
Yeah,
Same time,
it is.
yeah, it's pretty hard to change now.
And Peconic just allowed us to scale up those beers.
Yeah.
And while at the same time not forcing us into this big brewery only mindset, which is more kind of just raw manufacturing. We're craft beer, is this great exploration of flavors and ideas and by having both facilities, it allows us to do both those things.
And expand distribution, because I remember when that finally opened, things were everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it was there
Yep.
in moderation, but now you can find exactly what's going on. What were the first few beers that came out of Peconic? Do you remember?
I'm sure.
Probably the cores, I would
Yeah,
imagine.
it was.
Just try
It
to
was
get that
definitely the cores. Seasonal for us. Seasonals are big, both summer ale and leaf pile. I think you look at kind of the tourist economy on the North Fork.
Sure.
Makes sense.
It really is the summer and the fall. So
Yeah.
those have always been really big for us. Other Side IPA though has been a very, very important beer for us, as is Black Duck Porter.
Yeah.
You think of other local breweries who's really doing a full-time porter.
None I can think of.
Nothing off the top of that.
And nothing as good as Black Duck.
And, Black Duck is one of those things, it's interesting. In some of the fine dining restaurants, that's the beer that you see in there. It just pairs really, really well with food. It's a beer that, it's surprising the amount of Black Duck Porter, even in the summer, that we
And
sell.
how many ducks per barrel?
Yeah.
go into-
It depends. Seasonally, their
Perfect.
weights kind of vary.
That
so,
makes sense.
yeah.
That makes sense. So,
You get them real fat and you throw a whole bunch
know.
in there.
Maybe,
Sorry, I'm moving a tripod
I
around.
mean, there
and
is.
I would've had a
was
good
Aquabog,
quip.
right? Don't they breed ducks
yeah,
out
Oh,
they
you're right
sure
there.
do.
Right?
Yeah, the
I
whole
was-
town smells like it for a little bit. Yeah,
I was
It's a
assuming
bag.
there were many ducks per barrel of Black Duck Porter.
That's another one where I found, I guess it was relatively soon after I had the leaf pile, and I wanted to kind of expand again my palate, my horizons, and all that other good stuff. So I got Black Duck Porter, and I wasn't a huge porter fan to begin with. However, this was a little different. I want to talk a lot about. Did you bring any Black Duck Porter?
We did
No,
not.
we-
Okay, all right, so then
we
we
brought a
Brought none
Baltic
of your
Porter.
favorites.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
we did bring a Baltic Porter.
Yeah,
I'm only saying that because I don't want to
Good for
spoil
us.
a breakdown of
Yeah.
a beer later. But I just want to know, like, what is? It's just a regular base porter. What's the biggest kind of flavor that we're tasting there? Is it roast?
Stylistically, it's a robust porter. I get notes of, roast, cocoa, coffee. It's dry. It's relatively low in alcohol.
Yeah.
And it's one of those beers that is surprisingly complex, but
Yeah.
also simple at the same time, right?
And that's what I'm saying. Like the flavor was just something different about it. And again, not a big porter fan going into it. Loved it.
Yeah.
One of those, and you're right, 100% pairs well with like steak, a nice like hearty meal.
Yeah,
because it drinks light.
But also raw seafood. You
Ooh,
think
yeah.
about that with oysters or that with, Stilton cheese.
Now I'm starving.
Yeah, right.
We just joined Instagram Live. What's going on, everybody? Hard to see from where I am, but I'll wave at you later. Give us a call, 516-465-3990. Talk to Greg and Kate from Greenport. What?
I said I waved at him now. We're all good.
Okay, good. All right, good. So when did the plans start to happen for the Peconic location?
So the Peconic location, and it was something that we had eyed for a while. The site was there. It was an old car dealership that was just kind of sitting there for sale. Big piece of property, though, and, a lot of money. And, you kind of think to yourself, can we make this work? Is this what we need? And, we're looking, but we were maxed out with production. Really couldn't find anything else that really was as perfect as that. When you think about it, it abuts a vineyard, has a great field.
You're on two great cross streets.
Yeah, two great
one coming
cross
down
streets.
from the north, one east
Access
west.
to the north road, access to the main road, about a 10,000 square foot space inside.
Yeah.
With relatively high ceiling, so it really was perfect. So about 5 years in, we decided to move forward on that.
Yeah.
And
Good timing for that because I'm sure real estate went flying up in the last few years.
real estate and also craft beer.
Oh yeah.
When you think about going to the craft brewers conference back, when we started, it was like, oh, there's like 2,000, 3,000 breweries in the country. Yeah, now there's over 10,000.
Yeah, it's out of
Is
control.
that high
Yeah,
already?
I
thought it was like
think
8, yeah.
8, 10, whatever.
Close
Still.
to
Yeah, it's a lot.
390 something, no, 400 something on New York State alone.
Yeah.
Maybe
Even when
more.
you think of Long Island.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
it's like 45, 50,
Yeah.
something in that.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous
Yeah.
how many. I mean, I can't even visit them all. There's that many. Every
Yeah.
time I visit one, another one opens up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I have to get my Think New York, Drink New York stamp the very next week. Which, by the way, I'll look back at my phone once it's done there. I'll see which number you guys were. It's early, that's for
Okay.
sure.
Cool.
I tell you, the first one was Heartland Brewery in New York City.
Oh, that was by Union Square there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grand Central. I think was it the Grand Central one? Yeah, it's the Union Square one. But you guys are probably right there.
That's
You can
great.
see how old that the stamping went back. I think 2012, something like that. I was starting. It was crazy. So this Peconic spot, right? You guys have food now.
Yep.
You
Full
got
kitchen.
Full. I mean, delicious. I got
Really great
Every time
food.
we're there, that's what we're getting. Chicken sandwich or whatever the specials
Yeah,
that come
you,
up.
you name it. The kitchen team, Greg and his team are really, really talented.
There's
And he also has a great name.
There's a great thing too. They'll pair them. Yeah, it definitely helps. Great pairing too with some of the beers. So
Yeah.
they'll make recommendations, which is
Yeah.
awesome. I
I would
remember
expect nothing less.
my friends that live up in Boston. They come down, take the ferry over, and I go out and we meet them at Greenport. We try to do it at least once a year. And I think last year we met up, and my friend Eric was talking to one of the chefs. And he said, and he orders his food, and the chef said, or one of the guys behind,
Yeah.
that'll pair up really great with, and insert the beer. I don't remember which one it was. And it actually did. It worked perfectly. I got the same thing, same recommendation. I'm like, yep, follow that guy. Whatever he says, let's take it. And delicious. I mean, that's another great.
It's great, and it's great for us who work at the brewery because
It helps we have good food.
we get to try it, and we talk about the pairings, and Katie mentions the culture of it all.
Yeah.
I think that's an important part of the culture, both more broadly in the beer world.
Yeah.
Beer and food go perfect together. People think about wine pairings. you'd be hard pressed to find something better than beer to pair with food. You know,
Nice sandwich or something.
whatever.
Burger and a
fresh-
beer. What's
fresh-
for pizza and beer? What's better?
Was it fries or chips? I forget what I got. I think it was fries.
Should have been the fries.
Should have been fries. Yeah.
It should always be.
It always
fries.
should be fresh.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was Parmesan fries or garlic Parmesan fries. Oh, it was something special. I went, this is ridiculous.
So what do you think about Other Side IPA?
I like it.
Yeah.
It's not as West Coasty as I know
Yes.
he doesn't like. So
Okay.
it doesn't have that really
No, like
Super
huge
pine.
pine.
Super
Yeah.
piney, resiny.
It's the
kind
piney
of-
resiny that he doesn't like.
Really? Okay.
Like-
Bitterness is a little bit on the back end.
Honey, I'm tasting
Yeah.
it for you. I'll make sure it's okay. That's what it seems like. I'm like, I know what he likes.
I like it.
No, that would be up your alley.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
100%. That's
Clear IPA.
Yep, clear IPA.
IPA.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
thing. Crystal
Yeah.
clear.
Yep.
You know,
Nothing super heavy, drinkable.
nothing super heavy, but you know,
What's it
just
coming at? It's coming at
6.8%.
So anything
Yeah.
over 6 is
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah, 6.8%.
Jesus.
You know, I think it is only 60 IBU, so it's not huge.
No, not knocking you out.
But you know, those nice C hops with some nice Simcoe in there, and it's just
Citrus
it's really
Centennial
good.
and Chinook. Is that?
Columbus Centennial Chinook. Yeah,
I was close.
You're close.
Ain't
You
bad.
2 and 3
Yeah.
ain't bad.
Just like
Yeah.
Meatloaf said, 2 out
Yeah.
of 3 ain't bad.
yeah,
The 3 C's of hop flavors.
yeah.
Um,
No Citra in this one.
No, well, the 4 C's would have been better. But no, I like Citra by itself. I don't want
Yeah.
it mixed up with the
With
the
this,
classic
yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
The noble
Yeah,
ones.
yeah.
So, I mean, that was what I called like the entry level for West Coast people. If
Yeah.
people like, just regular IPAs or even juicy, you can start crossing over to the dark side. With this one, that's for sure.
Yeah, we actually just
Drink a lot of
launched Double Side IPA, which is an imperial version of this, which is it's a nice
Closer
one.
to 8, like 7.7.
Yeah, it's over 8.
Is it over
Yeah,
8?
yeah. And it packs a punch, and it's
16,
definitely
16
ounce
okay,
can.
all
Yeah.
right. All right, I'll get them 12s at one
Yeah.
point. I'll find those 9% or 12s at some point in my life. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with that, but then they got
I
those
don't
little
either.
stubby cans, the ones that do like the porters. They like the 12%ers.
Here's the Baltic Porter.
Ooh, yes.
Yes.
Ooh, speaking of porter. And then this is another one that you guys have had for a little while. I mean, Baltic, outside of Black, this is not Black Duck, right?
No, this
No.
this is Baltic Porter.
You've had a Baltic on before. I don't know if it was distro, but you've definitely...
Double duck might be what you're
Double
thinking
duck.
of, which
Maybe.
is an imperial.
Twice the
black
ducks
duck.
per barrel.
yeah,
So many ducks.
Double
By
the
weight,
ducks.
yes.
Double the ducks.
The whole backyard's filled with feathers trying to get this thing out and about.
I
to
mean,
the
if
people.
all you're using is the liver for the frog you got to do something else with the
Yes.
duck.
All right, fair
I mean,
enough. Well, you know what? Then you serve the rest in the tasting room with the food. Yeah, pair up nice little duck sandwich, fried duck sandwich.
Is there like a seared duck breast that's on the menu that you can
No,
serve
but
with
we'll
a
have to
duck?
talk to other Greg about
Sometimes
that.
he did a duck banh mi.
Oh,
That
that's
was-
true.
That sounds good.
We should have brought some food.
I know. We've now shifted into the food element. Where's Let's Eat LI with Felix? Where's he at?
So the fun thing about this beer, this
Yeah.
is a beer from our Soundings program.
Okay.
And if you look at this is a nautical map with
Yeah.
soundings of the ocean floor, as it were. And this is another innovation program. We have a little bit larger than the Ripples, but 15 barrel batches, little, 40, 50 cases of cans, some draft, tasting room only, really allows us to explore. And this beer actually started with Katie and I were at, where were we?
Monks.
At Monk's in Philly.
Yeah.
And Katie was drinking an Estonian Baltic Porter.
Yes.
And just blowing our
We needed to
minds.
make it.
Yeah.
Baltic porter
we
from
need
the
all
Baltic.
these.
Yeah.
So so in a sense, you brewed this for you guys. Like, this is like, I don't want to keep going to Monks
Not
in
in
Philly,
advance,
so.
but absolutely.
But sure, yeah, you could say that. It's delicious.
Yeah, so
like
it's
that one.
brewed with lager yeast.
Yeah.
So, a little bit crisper. And not as, you think about it in the same family maybe as an Imperial Stout. But not as sweet.
No,
No,
a little
definitely
dry, got the little
drier,
bite,
yeah.
roasty, nice layers of roasted malt.
I want to get into like the details in a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah,
but
this beer is really.
So you guys are still, throwing out the cores out there,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
And still getting them into distro and stuff like that. How has things
really
changed now, post COVID? I mean, so I'm sure that some of the tap contracts have kind of not dried up, but I've gotten less. That's across the board. So are you kind of shifting in new directions, doing more distro? What was the plan here? in the
Yeah,
last
so
few
during
years?
during COVID, right, everything changed to cans, right? There was no draft beer anymore
No.
during COVID.
Yeah.
And
Time
you
to
know,
growler and can everything we got.
everything we got, right? And that was really challenging for breweries because, you know, I guess just to put it into perspective for us,
Just cans, just can
just to
inventory.
can something, the maximum amount of cans we can fill per day, and we have a pretty, you know, decent canning line, is
Yeah.
500 cases. So that's like, you know, what, 35 barrels. You know, we can keg out, and that takes 3
That
to
takes
4
time.
people
Right.
to operate the canning line, do the pack outs and all that. You can do 90 barrels with one person in the same amount of
Kegs,
time.
yeah.
Right. So just in terms of cost of goods
Yeah.
and logistics and operations.
8 times the amount of labor
Yeah.
cost.
And
to
it's just like,
yeah.
so that was really, really tough. The great thing was we were selling a ton of beer.
Yeah.
And I think for us,
Who
Because
wants to
we-
be holed up, you know, in their house, working from home with kids and remote learning without copious amounts of alcohol?
Yeah.
Did
Obviously.
you guys
I mean,
did you end up doing like deliveries or just right out of the parking lot? How'd you guys end
so
up
we
getting this
did
out?
right out of the parking lot, but for us, and this is one of the real benefits of us being kind of one of the bigger breweries that, you know, that was around a little bit longer, we had the relationships, our distributors had the relationships with the grocery stores.
Ah.
So we were selling the beer in the grocery stores still. We did do some mail, which was great. And we did do a ton of cases, just people, you know,
Local delivery or pickup?
Local pickup.
Yeah.
We never did delivery, just the logistics of it.
Only
were-
a few people did delivery. I
Yeah.
think
The smaller
Dubco
ones.
Dubco did it because I got a whole case of Eleanor delivered to me. I remember that.
That sounds on brand.
Black IPA. Yeah, that's very
that's
on
on
brand
brand.
for me. But I remember driving through Great South Bay. Same thing. They had the drive ups. You place
Yes.
the order.
Yeah, I think I did that once too. Yeah.
You show them the order number, literally just case in the back
Yep.
seat, and that was that. So, and where else did it was Ghost as well. I think I
Same
displayed Ghost in the Great South Bay. But what was the other thing I got? I went somewhere else, and it was a same thing, delivery in the parking lot. It was. Oh wait, did we go 12%? 12%. I went up. I had all the time in the world, so I could just go to Connecticut and buy beer or whatever. It's all
Beer
good. Beer run. We went to Treehouse too.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, over COVID. That was nice.
So yeah, it was all draft beer during
yeah.
COVID, and you know, we're doing a lot more, you know, draft now, or it was all cans during
Right,
COVID.
right.
You know, more draft now.
Is there still like it was before though? I guess is what I'm getting
It's
at.
not. And I
Yeah.
do think a lot of businesses, and I think a lot of breweries figured this out, but also bars and restaurants of just simplifying.
Yeah.
You know, really, when it comes down to it, who needs 20 different selections?
I mean, it's
And-
nice,
and
but how
it's-
many of those
it's
are actually
nice,
drank?
But how many are you going to drink?
Right.
How many need to
And-
sell through while they're fresh? Too?
Exactly. So as a craft beer bar, would you better serve your customers if you had 6
Right.
rather than 20?
really
And
or
you're
thought about
rotating
it.
through,
and you're rotating through, you have
which
a
keeps
more
your customers
curated
coming back
selection,
because
but
they
it
want
makes
the
that
new.
competition that much more fierce because, you know, there's only 6 lines now.
Have some of the restaurants gone can? Because that has longer sustainability.
I feel like I'm seeing more of that on, you know.
Yes, some of it is. You know, I think where we're seeing it, and it's also, you know, in New York City. New York City is still kind of getting back.
Yeah.
And, you know, it doesn't have, you know, I still have friends that are only working in the city 2 or 3 days a week.
Sure.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you're only there 2 or 3 days a week, you're not going out to as many happy hours and all this and that.
True that. Yeah.
So for us, you know, and it's great having these kind of smaller avenues that we can push out, you know, we're really pushing things forward in the innovation front. So we're, you know, doing the Ripples beers, we're doing the Soundings beers like the Baltic Porter you're trying. And we also just are and you guys will be the first kind of public to taste
I like
this
being the
stuff,
first thing.
right?
I like being the first of things. I don't care what people say. It is nice. I've never been disappointed by you're the first one to try this. I'm like, really? I've not, because I know they've tried it too. They know what it
So
tastes
you're not
like.
really the first, is what you're saying.
Well, I mean, who would be the first? Would it
You're
be
the
the
first
brewer?
one.
We're
Coming
the
off the
first.
keg.
You're the first big media personalities. To
I
try
like
that.
that.
Very good.
I like that. Hoo, Robin.
But
I,
also see them labeled.
Yeah,
Yes,
look at
Oh,
these beautiful
you do
labels,
slim
right?
cans?
Slim cans.
That's
These
like a
are
Red Bull.
all can conditioned.
Hold on a second here. This is fancy.
100% can
Oh,
conditioned.
farmhouse! Yay!
Yeah, right.
Oh,
So,
I like the knockout on the label too.
Yeah,
Or
right.
6 point.
Look at that.
Isn't that beautiful?
fantastic.
Yeah.
Saying all the
Yeah.
words we want to hear.
Like look at the
That's
bleed.
cool.
Look at the bleed into infinity there.
Yeah.
That's
That's cool.
Yeah.
How, just clear, or
It's
is it
clear, yeah.
Yeah, or does
Yeah.
it match the color scheme?
Yeah.
That's freaking cool.
We originally wanted to die cut it, but the
that's-
label manufacturer was like,
I
absolutely
mean, imagine
not.
trying to get it on the can
They're
the right
like,
way.
we can, but
However, you may not
wanna pay
want to do
$3
that.
per label.
How do you feel about $3.50? And the amount of probably dead that you get from just
Yeah.
the label not going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
So my wife got a Cricut, which is a T-shirt printing machine.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I've
And
heard
it's
of
the
this.
same thing. So you can print on vinyl, right? And to get those
I
little
was going.
details.
What is
No. Then you
like
get these.
Jiminy Cricket?
No. Oh, silly pants. You a technology guy don't know what a Cricut is? How do you think they made this shirt? Well, probably a screen silk screen, but all right, whatever. But like even like something on his shirt, these little thin lines, if you kept that in the Cricut, you'd have to really go in and cut out all that detail. And that would be a pain with the sticker that's going on, fresh and clear, and probably better off you did that way.
Yeah.
For sure. Good business move.
Yeah, so
And I
with-
like the slim can.
the slim cans look beautiful, right?
Yeah.
And this is another kind
it's
of
different.
innovation thing we're doing. It's communications, we're calling it.
Okay.
And
Well, the program.
the
that's
program. This is
conversations,
conversations. Yeah.
And I'd like to say they even make now canware, so like a koozie
Yes.
or
Yep.
something for that size. So
They
it's
do.
not like you have to reinvent.
Is there like a Yeti or anything?
yes, there's
Yeah.
a Yeti for that
Neat.
size, for sure.
Neat.
A lot of
So
local.
much went into these beers,
Yeah.
though, that we just wanted to make them extra special, and
Yeah,
extra
yeah.
pretty.
Had to up it.
Yeah, like that. The label really reflects all the work that went into them.
How many
So-
meetings and how many hours was it on the label?
How many press proofs?
So less than you think, because really, all right. So this is the stainless steel version of it. We will have a foeder version of it. But more than anything, this beer is the one that built the entire program.
Oh, it's a
This
second one?
Second one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this
So we're
one that you're
releasing two of
holding-
these together.
Yeah, so this is the
Farmhouse.
base beer to everything in the communications program. The one you're holding will only exist in that can. And
It's so pretty.
our
I do like the label.
Yeah,
sales
it's like-
guy that helped build Greenport as is, and the longest working employee besides the forklift is Justin Westnowski, who got us 400 pounds of peaches
Wow.
last year when peaches were very hard to come by.
Yeah.
And we put those peaches in
Very
a Grundy, and we put beer on top of that, and that beer is now
That's
in
what
this
it is.
can, and it has taken off. We do all sorts of stuff in barrels. We have really built up the kind of farmhouse universe in the back. Do you want to talk more about?
Talk all about it.
Yeah,
Don't spare
yeah.
me.
Well, no,
We're just so
not- not-
excited.
This is very much-
Yes.
Not in
This is in my wheelhouse. I want to hear all about it.
We still
I
have
want
10
to
minutes
talk
before
all
we talk
about it
beer
today,
beer.
so there's
Oh,
that.
we're just getting going.
Ah.
So we can. You're gonna need to throw us out of here.
I was going to say, the forklift guy or the girl, whoever it is, that person's going to die in that forklift. I'm just letting you know. I've
Yeah,
seen.
we've all signed up for that.
Oh
We
my
all know we're
God!
gonna
They
die
are.
there.
He's
It's all
got.
good.
He's got 5 people ready to go, but still, he's dying in that forklift. I saw as being in the industry, the union guys that do the forklifts for stagehands and stuff like that. Oh, they are in their like 80s, still carting hundreds of pounds of speakers off stages. No offense, Mike, but there's some older people doing that kind of work because it's not the grunt work. It's you're sitting in there and you're spinning, and when you're good and you're skilled,
I love a
you
good sentence.
got your
But
wits
that's
about
the
you.
kind of brewery that we're trying to build.
Yeah, it's like
too.
muscle
That,
memory for
like,
them, but it is. You're right.
You know, we really have this
Long-standing.
tremendous team that makes these things happen, from the food to the taproom experience to the sales guy who also gets us, ingredients, to the canning guy who they're their own breed.
Yeah.
The
They-
canning line people are their own breed, And if you can get one, you hold on to them tight. Is all you do. And then, your cellar people, like, we're all very disgruntled and, cellar yellers all the time. And then, your brewers who just really kind of bring it all together and,
They got to be
tremendous.
Everyone's got to along that line be a little crazy, and I like that. I
Oh,
like that
yeah.
a lot.
crazy.
You gotta
honestly.
have an edge to you to really
Oh my
wake up
gosh,
and
I
be
know.
ready to. By the way, Greg, I like that you gave us the Pilsner as like a palate cleanser to
Yeah.
clean
Yeah.
our glasses.
Me too.
Yeah,
That's
right?
fantastic. Let's get the porter was delicious, by the way,
Yeah,
but
it
we'll get
is,
back.
yes.
Oh, the was double porter? Yeah, Baltic porter.
Baltic, yes.
Yeah.
All the funk in the farmhouse.
Yeah. So this is kind of the most, let's say, entry level of them all.
Okay.
But this is the common thread that runs through all of the beers.
So
So,
using the same
Sort of like the same base malt for the.
yeah, the base wort that we're using,
Okay.
right? And it gets different treatments. So we will see. What? Yeah.
Sorry, we do the sound. When anyone says word, we the sounder goes off.
The Invocations Peach that we try.
Thank you.
That beer went into some wine barrels, some spirit barrels that we then blended together.
Interesting.
This is all stainless fermented, Belgian Saison yeast, Brettanomyces, primary fermentation, stainless steel for about 6 weeks, but then can condition for 3 months.
Really?
Why,
Why 3 months?
just to really
Clean it up.
clean it up, get this beautiful effervescent carbonation. Like,
Make sure we got the
look at
labels
this.
really correct. Symbiotic thing,
It could have been ready
could've
maybe
been
about
that,
a month ago.
But everything benefited from
That
what the
time period,
universe
yeah.
offered us.
But when does the aromatherapy candle of this come out?
But just the aroma. On
They're in
this
the
is just-
right spot for all of it too.
Yeah.
By the way, I want to get into
Yeah.
the wine and the spirits because you guys are in a prime area for
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
vineyards
Yeah.
and
yeah.
And we both have unique experiences.
Yeah.
Each of us did a harvest at a winery.
Really.
Yep. Greg did Raphael.
Oh,
I
shit.
did Bedell. We have a very good friend who's the winemaker at Ospreys now, and
Oh, okay.
that'll also be part of this series. We got Carmenere grapes from her.
Shit, this is.
What-
And,
is there a specific
That's
kind of-
already canned. and-
Specific kind of grape?
Yeah, which we didn't know existed
No.
until it came along.
Well,
and
we'll
then
take
it was great. I'm really glad you spilled some too. So
Yeah, that's fine.
just so-
Yeah.
That's why.
I brought it over and looked at it and shook it. So
Did you smell anything when you guys walked in here? It didn't smell
No,
terrible, right?
no.
Perfect, because we
Yeah.
spilled so much beer over 7 years that
I think we probably
nothing ever
smell
stays.
exactly the same
Right.
to the public. So.
You're used to it by now. A little beer spilled, never anything good, never anything bad.
This is going in distro, right?
tasting room only.
Yeah, you gotta
but,
come to us.
but it's one of these things we will be able to mail it. And we feel like it's very important that we have these in our tasting room, that this is a beer that we plan to have consistently around.
Part of the
You
experience.
need to tell
too.
a story around it, though. Is that?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
education, we'll say,
tell a
too,
story
yeah.
about it.
But it is our story.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
just having to tell the story. It really, really came about.
You want to tell the story.
Yeah.
You want people there to be there to experience
It's
that.
fucking good.
well, thank you.
So let's have a conversation about it.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think as we look at this whole program, really looking at this kind of mapping the evolution of Greenport Harbor,
I'm gonna help myself. I'm
where,
sorry.
yeah, no, dude, that's why I opened another one. We had the bottling line that we started out with that, when we started packaging, it was just bottles. Then we slowly transitioned to cans, and then it was all cans.
Yep.
So we had this bottling line that was sitting in the back of the brewery in this space, and it was just kind of sitting there
Collecting dust.
collecting dust. And
A lot of expensive.
What?
dust.
There's a fly, yes. Easily distracted.
and we kind of had this crazy idea. The manufacturer or the distributor of the bottling line also sells tanks. I wonder if they want the canning or the bottling line back and would trade us some tanks,
Little parlay.
right? A little like barter type
Yeah.
thing. And reached out to them, and they said, this is very unconventional, but yeah, why
As
not?
we do.
Nice.
So we got 2 fermenters, 2 bright tanks, and a fooder. that we have
for that bottling line.
The fooder we had to get from
All
a different person,
right.
but
But still,
I hug
even
it every day,
well, that's
so,
tough. Yeah. But even that's a lot for the bottling line. Is it really that sought after? I guess there's people still looking to
There's
do
a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of stainless
Yeah.
steel. There's a lot of
worth its weight in gold in a way. Yeah.
Yes.
so now we have this space where we can do, funky beers with wild yeast, bacteria.
Are these the ones that are going in the fooders?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that bottling space, if you've ever been in the production facility at Peconic, right? It works from south to north, where your brew house and then your cellar, and then there's the cold room and keg cleaning universe. So also by environment, we're able to have a sour cellar because we're separated by everything. So we're marking everything. Like there's
This can
And
only
I'm
go
very-
there. Regimented.
Red duct tape,
no,
red
I
zip
don't want.
ties.
Yeah.
Like a
Everybody has to
quarantine
answer
room.
to Katie if anything
Okay, I'm in.
that's terribly out of whack.
So right behind, like in Peconic, your bar.
Yep.
That's where the production line starts. Behind that, and then it goes
No, so there's an alleyway between the tap room
right.
and the
And then the other
production
building. Oh, the
facility.
building. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So the glass windows
yes,
that,
yeah, okay,
that
of
hit
course.
the main road are our brew house.
Okay.
You get beautiful sunrises.
Nice.
And then you guys should come for a tour. We do them
Hell
at
yeah.
1
Yes.
o'clock every Sunday.
9 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
Oh, I thought it was like
Every
9 a.m. I
Sunday?
can start drinking then. I'm ready to
I
go.
mean, we already are.
Yeah.
But so you have the brew house right to the south.
Yep.
We have all these standpipes that bring them into our cellar, which also houses our canning line, and then we have a whole other space for keg cleaning, and that's access to our cold room. So it kind of breaks up that sour cellar from that
Got it,
clean
yeah.
cellar.
I forgot there was that other right because like when you're looking at the bar, there you door right there, and it goes right to the other space, the other building right there, right?
Yeah. So we do have access into there, and that's something we're trying to do too, where this part of the brewery that we have now given the fooder space and this whole communication space too to eventually be a retail space.
Oh, that'd be cool.
We're hoping to.
Yeah, because right now you got retail in the bar,
Yeah,
up on the wall,
exactly.
and
just make it a pretty experience for everybody. We're in the middle of trying to figure out what kind of bar we want to put in there, and we're kind of just taking our time, just like we did with these beers, to make sure that this next step in Greenport is really what we wanted.
one of the things I really love is that the Long Island Crosstown ferries have Greenport
Yeah.
almost
Yes.
all the time.
Absolutely.
If they haven't sold out of it already,
Yeah,
they
no
always
doubt.
have
We kicked the keg
Greenport.
a week ago.
on the ferry.
On the ferry.
Yes. You know what I don't like though? They got rid of the arcades. There's no more arcades on those ferries. Every time I go looking for it, I bring a roller coaster. No arcade on the Mary Ann going over to New London. But there is a bar, and I use my quarters to buy more beer.
I didn't know there was an arcade.
There
My
was
kids
back
are
in the day.
Full into the
Well, now they
mall
got the
lifestyle
phones now and everything,
arcades
so
now.
forget
I
it.
don't
You
know.
don't even
Darn
need
kids
the
with their iPads.
But they would have benefited from like a Ninja Turtle game sitting on the ferry. It's an hour and some odd change ride. You know how many quarters I can go through in an hour? Oof. Just can't have pinball.
Is that because you suck at those games?
No, I'm really good. I'm really good.
Doesn't sound like it.
But I always have whatever. I think it's just the Harbor Ale.
It's usually Harbor Ale that
yeah,
they
Harbor
have.
Ale on there. But I'm like, I know what I'm getting with Harbor Ale.
Yeah, which
and-
is great.
Yeah,
And
it's
I think one of the real benefits of being a brewery of our size is we can brew beers like that have wider distribution, and then we have beers like this that
You
are
need beers that keep the lights on
Yeah.
in order to pay to do the.
Exactly. Yes.
and you look at a
You
beer
need that Allagash
yeah,
white.
well, you took the words right out of my mouth. Like, you look at a brewery like Allagash and just how much Allagash white they make,
so much white.
and it is just so good.
I have,
How much Allagash white did you drink when you were up in
dude,
Vermont?
not enough
Yeah.
is for sure the answer. Big Allagash fan.
same.
I'm disappointed with some of
Same.
the stuff they've discontinued. But now I'm gonna go.
Full
Do you
fanboy
have
on
any
it?
from Maine
Yeah.
with Love beers around here right now?
Which ones? No,
Say
no,
again,
Alec,
sorry.
no.
I have a picture of from the just all the weird fucking names they put on the barrels.
Yeah.
I have a picture of the barrel.
That
on
tour
the
is
phone.
really the glass,
Very cool.
the glass-headed barrel
Yeah.
that you can see inside the barrel.
That's pretty
super
cool.
cool. Yeah, yeah.
Whole-
Where they come up with that? And does it still expand and contract with everything else?
I think
like
it's
that?
more just visually
For
so you
show,
can see
yeah.
what's going on. But
When did I go to fucking Maine?
you know,
Well,
it's
everything's a blur.
great, you know, for our brewers, for our cellar folks to be able to, you know, one day making harbor ale, the next day making a beer that goes into barrels.
yeah.
And just kind of keeping things fresh. And you know, it's very easy for something to become rote where it's just kind of manufacturing and it's like,
And you
you know,
lose a
I
little
press
bit
the
of
button
passion.
because I pressed the button.
Yeah, you
but
lose a
when
little
you're
of that
thinking
passion that you
about
wanna have
what
with
you're
your
trying to
brews.
do and from an educational standpoint and engagement standpoint,
Wow.
it makes a heck of a lot of sense.
people. Oh my God! All right, I'm not going to keep up with all the Instagram people. I apologize right off the bat.
Hopefully they're not saying mean stuff.
No.
I'm
Steve's
sure
on there
they're
though.
probably-
Steve, what are you doing? Get over here, or call in. We got Steve's 3 questions coming up, and we don't have a Steve to give the 3 questions. I would say we go through all these, but I can't. There's too many. We don't have enough time. So Instagram.
So we like this beer, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I fucking love this beer.
Conversations. is
Instagram.
good?
I'll
Yeah.
be right back. All right.
But
'Cause
wait,
it
did we
reminds
get
me of
to
something like
invocation?
Yeah.
Allagash's Saison that
Yeah.
they don't make
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
But you
No,
love
I-
all that. I mean,
I
that's
do.
that's up your alley. So
Yes.
this is
All right.
flying
So here,
right next to that.
try this one now.
Beer adjacent for you.
Yeah.
very good.
So I want to, let's see here. Steve, 516-465-3990 if you don't remember. Jeez, this guy.
I do want to credit you guys. I'm not really sure who said it, but it's always stuck with me. During one of the Lady Brewsters
Yes.
podcasts.
Still can't have our beer maker, by the way.
I
I don't care how many times Sheila
But
asks for it,
the-
she ain't getting it.
Oh,
Well, maybe when I'm done with it. We're not done. We're not quite done, but we're.
the turn of phrase of us living in an embarrassment of riches has always
Yes.
really stuck. And I think especially in this program, I think about that all the time, right? That we have...
Feel so lucky to just be
yeah,
part
just
of
like
something
just
this.
honor our environment and where we are. And I'm very grateful to you guys for, just kind of pointing that out, that it really is a product of our environment, and that's what makes us so super special out there.
Ooh, that's
We
tart.
just did
I mean, can you
a...
imagine, like, even like 20 years ago, and, Steve was a pioneer in and of himself, but like 20 years ago when you just didn't have this amount of selection or
No.
this
Yeah.
quality level, and you're just starving to make something like that, the drive in you that must be there. Like, being at, Great American Beer Festival or any of the, big festivals, and you see what other people doing around the country and what's possible.
Yeah.
But it should hold weight that
Bringing it here.
you have it.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
You can do
I,
it.
that's what I thought, when we were starting this show, even, like I said, almost 7 years ago.
I had to search. I searched Maine.
Yeah.
It doesn't come up. I searched barrel, and then it found all the pictures of fucking barrels from the Allagash tour.
So it did not know you were in Maine?
Fantastic.
It did, but it didn't. I don't know. But this is
Did you forget the E?
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
this is Sparta, Harold and Kumar, which are different, and of course those were barreled on 420.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, I don't know. This one was. It says Harold and Kumar barreled April 20th, 2016.
I think
right.
what's great about these beers too is they really reflect a sense of place, right? These peaches came from the North.
Did we
Fork.
open the peach? God.
Yeah.
All right, sorry.
Yeah, you
I'm
gotta
drinking
come on.
Enjoy it. That's my favorite so far.
The peach one.
No, the conversations.
Just conversations.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
so kind of.
It's what I would
Yeah,
want
yeah,
in
that's
a
in my-
Yeah.
what I would want in a farmhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's the saison yeast is what probably gets you because you're a huge
All that funk.
You are a
Yeah.
huge saison fan.
Yeah.
What's
Like-
nice about this beer is it's tart. You get some of those like stone fruit
Yep.
flavors, which are really, really nice. And if you look for it, you can get some of the spirit elements too, because we did put one spirit barrel in this blend too.
Ooh. I can actually smell it a little bit.
Yeah, one of the fun things about this program too is, conversations is
And it was
just
a Long Island
straightforward.
Spirit Sparrow.
Yeah, so LIV spirits.
Yes.
Okay.
They're single malt,
Oh, okay.
but a lot of these beers are blended. So
Okay.
similar to wine, where we're taking different elements of different barrels and different things to put together.
So this is quite the project, then.
Oh yeah.
Like an undertaking of undertakings. All right, so
But
you
it
guys.
also gives us an excuse to be as crazy as we are, right? We're like, this is how you make the thing.
This is how
your
it gets
brain is
done.
just all over the place.
So
for
this
sure.
the peach really quick. So this is the one where who's the gentleman that got all the peach? Justin
Justin.
got all the peaches for you. How do you recreate this then? You have to
You
send
can't.
Justin out again.
We
Well, the peach-
we are
the
doing a
harvest might be
different 2023 harvest from Wickham's.
Okay.
It'll be an entirely different beer, and it's just and it's an entirely different beer.
So this is kind of
we
like a
hope.
one-off. It's a
I
little-
don't
Yeah.
pick up a
Little-
lot of peaches, but I pick up like it's so much more tart than the.
the
Think
tart
of
and a little bit sweet
Peachio's
too.
candies. Don't you even think of like? I
little-
mean, they
yeah, a
are
little bit.
peaches, but if you think of that weird candy extract
Yeah.
flavor,
Mm.
it's kind of in your nose. I think with this, where
These
it's
are
just
both-
like that.
There's another one open somewhere there.
Farmhouse.
Yeah, right there.
Don't drink the rest of mine. I like
Yeah.
that.
flavor.
Can I just tell you,
Excellent.
I drank peach Snapple for close to 10 years. I'm not a soda drinker.
Are
I
you
do drink
recovering
beer.
peach Snapple?
I am a recovering.
Yeah.
Do you know what my new thing is? It's
Is it Red Bull?
Lemon lime Gatorade. No, lemon lime Gatorade.
That-
That's a
Lemon
good.
lime Gatorade.
That's once a
Okay. That's the only Gatorade.
That's
worth
the only
a damn.
yeah. The red
Absolutely.
one is too thick. I think the orange is too orange. It's too much orange. Lemon lime I could drink
100%.
like water. Yeah, I'm serious. So peach Snapple, seriously, for close to 10 years, I drank it exclusively. I don't drink water very much.
Really?
I
I'm
drink
allergic,
beer.
so you're good.
To what?
Water.
Oh, well, fair enough. Yeah. Well, it's a good thing we added so much flavor to this. But the peach Snapple, after 10 years, I'll tell you this, started eating away at my stomach because
You're
of
kidding.
all of the acidity in the peach. However, whenever I have anything, nothing, doesn't set it off at all. So anytime I have like a sour or something like that that's peach flavored, no, perfect. So I'm glad I shied away from Snapple peach. It was destroying my internal organs.
How many of those caps do you have with the Snapple facts?
I used to
on
have a lot. Yeah. And the better one was the sodas that were in the glass bottles. Snapple made sodas, Cherry Lime Ricky. They made a cream soda,
familiar.
and they were all in the same glass bottle with that stupid top.
I feel like it's a fever dream.
Yeah.
Right? Like a meteor?
It was. Did I just imagine that? Is that happening right now? Steve's not calling in. I don't know. If maybe he's still on the road. Maybe he's on his way. I don't know what's going on. But I usually take a quick break here and do Steve's 3 questions. However, I don't think I have Steve to do those 3 questions. So let's just transition right on
Well,
into.
do we know what the questions are?
I don't. I asked him to send it back to me. And he didn't. He didn't send them.
Oh,
It's like,
it's,
what are the
uh,
questions? Call in. You
yeah,
know what the
what-
questions are?
Yeah. What's
You want to do Pete's 3 questions? Do I have to make a whole new sounder?
Oh God damn it! Hold on.
All right,
for a
so
second.
you know what? I'm gonna do it.
No, it's Steve's questions. It's
Steve's
what
Pete's
is
questions, yes,
what is
it
that
is.
beer that got you into it?
Okay, wait, don't
What's
say
your
them all.
favorite?
Don't
No,
say
no.
them
If I
all.
don't say them all, I'll fucking
And
forget.
how
it.
are
right,
you
no.
doing at fantasy football?
Yeah.
I
just screwed it up. Now you don't
Sports
know.
ball.
What's that one beer?
What got you into craft beer?
Yeah.
What's your favorite style?
Yeah.
What's that beer when you see out that you have to have?
Okay, there you go. All right, so we got it. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Steve's 3 questions, but really it's Pete's, all right? Hey, you cool Hellcats. Tonight, we bring you a very special presentation. 3 questions with our very own Steve Pominski. Yeah. Steve's questions. 3 questions from Steve. 3 questions. Steve's questions. Go. I'm sure Steve is watching on the Facebook or the YouTube. Anyone else is watching right now, 516-465-3990. Call in with your questions, man. Don't be afraid. People are so afraid for calling into a radio show anymore. I don't understand. But that's okay. As long as Graz doesn't
Your
call in.
black Mets hat.
I love
It's so
Graz.
intimidating.
That's what it is, yes.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I don't want to talk to Graz today.
I'm gonna talk to Graz.
I love Graz, but I'm not talking to him today.
Oh,
So
jeez.
let's get into it. We're going to take it away with Pete's 3 questions.
Okay. I'm gonna do my best. I don't know. Pominski
Steve's
imitation
impression.
here. What was that first beer that got you into craft beer where you had this and you're like, no more.
By
Mick Ultra.
golly.
I need some more craft. I need to mine this vein a little more.
Mine this
No, you
vein.
go.
It sounds like a drug reference. Jesus.
Maybe it is.
All
Maybe
right.
it is.
All right,
Not for me.
all right now.
Too late.
So for me,
Get too old for this shit.
for me, the beer that really kind of blew me away was Saison DuPont.
Oh, okay.
Just you try that. I think it's the presentation of the bottle.
Yes. That's
Just
what I had on my birthday this year.
That beer, it is so perfect.
Yes.
Still. Sometimes it's a little skunked when you get it. But
Just
it
because
is just,
they've been around for a while and there could be
yeah,
one rotating the shelf somewhere.
sitting on the shelf a little too long. But man, that's a beer that still just gets me.
That's a good answer.
That is it's the truth. That's why.
Where would you find something like right now? If you wanted
Total
to go out
Wine.
and get the Total Wine out?
I got it. That was for my birthday.
But let's say,
When-
forget
killed some
about
time
Total
by
Wine for a
myself.
minute because that's like
Where
a
else would I
chain.
get
Yeah,
Saison
where else
DuPont?
could you get Saison DuPont?
Would
Would it be a local D and they would just happen to
maybe-
have it maybe?
Maybe.
Dave's Cold Beer and Soda, would he have that?
Typically, like Whole Foods or
Yeah.
Would they?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
alright.
They'll
Because I just haven't seen it laying around.
Yeah.
You know, I've been to a
Total
couple-
Wine had
Yeah.
like a case of it on the shelf.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've recently done some limited canning runs of it too,
Ah.
which is
Weird.
kind of
I saw
interesting.
Unibrew is
Yeah,
available
yeah,
in cans now,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
fucking wild.
Yeah, yeah,
Weird.
totally.
Right?
Yeah, it's
It
gonna-
is
oh,
weird.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, where
Some of
did
these
we
ones,
get
like-
that? I saw some cans of it.
God.
Yeah,
It's
that one.
got-
I saw it on
Saison DuPont.
Instagram. I'm like, that's.
What you got to do is you got to do
Yeah.
like the taste difference. What's
Yeah.
what's the can shock /
Yeah.
what's it do to that taste?
Yeah.
Or the aging in that and how long, if you get similar bottle and can in the same
I don't
like
know.
area, do they taste different? Because I just can't imagine not drinking out of a bottle.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Katie, what was it for you?
Drinking mother's milk at Brick House because
Brick House.
right. So it wasn't even theirs, and that was
Is that left hand? Who
No, I
did
think
mother's
it's
milk?
Keegan.
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 Yeah, Keegan.
Keegan.
Ales.
Keegan Ales.
Yes.
And I was going to Stony Brook at the time, and that was the beer.
Mm.
So whatever that means to everybody else.
I've had to have a mother's milk at
That's
one
my
point.
honest answer on
I
that
don't
one.
remember.
Most common answer is Sierra Nevada Pale Ale.
Okay. All right.
Was it?
That is
It might
for
be.
sure
Yeah.
the most common.
You
The
sure?
most common answer.
Yeah, well, because it's like introducing like the West Coast IPA to
I
things.
guess I don't know. That is
Yeah.
everyone's. I
Alright.
would say that's not a majority.
We've
but
had a
definitely
lot of
plurality.
answers. I think it was someone else had said Saison DuPont.
I don't know.
Yeah. I got to go back in the
Maybe.
archives.
Maybe.
But mother's milk,
I
no.
could even
you
go optical illusion.
all right.
but-
Well, that's a
That
good
for
one.
me, like especially like before I really got into craft beer, like that was the only IPA like I drink, and it is like a pretty hoppy, very hop forward beer, and I'm like, oh, I don't like IPAs, but I'll drink the shit out of this double IPA. That's 8%.
Because it'll get you drunk. That's why.
That's why.
Wake
yeah.
up with your tongue dragged to the roof of your mouth.
I used to love Rastafari.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
Rastafari.
Yep.
Yeah.
I actually got a keg of it when I first got my my little keg downstairs. The first one was Magic Hat number 9. Had to
Toasted
get number
Lager
9.
was actually the first cake I bought.
Really?
Yes, and then it was Magic.
Yeah, and it was Magic Hat because it was the easiest one to get, and we liked Magic. And then it was Rastafari, and then after that, Magic Hat again, and then I think I got Stone, and
get another
then
keg.
that was about it. And I haven't
I
had
have
a
2 empty
keg.
sixlets in my basement.
So do I.
doing absolutely
We got to
nothing,
clean
but
them.
I refuse to get
we have
rid
to
of.
no, we have to clean them.
Oh, I'm gonna just trade them in to
No, trade them in. Just
Yeah.
you got to clean them and let's
and
brew
do what
it.
with them.
Brewing it?
No, that's not.
Come
happening.
on.
You
We'll
haven't
do
seen my
something with
schedule.
it.
There's so much good beer around. You don't need to.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's,
He doesn't want to clean anything up.
no, I have enough shit to do. I'll go buy a case of this fucking conversation.
Yeah, that's a good
Thank you very much.
All right, next question.
Yeah,
Next
go.
question. What
Yeah.
is that go-to style for you?
Style, just style.
Style.
Pilsner.
Pilsner.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a palate cleanser. As
that's
you
a very
just-
brewer.
yeah.
That is a very brewer answer.
Yeah.
Pilsner.
Same. Right.
Pilsner.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's a brewer's
That's-
brew people's
Yeah,
beer.
that is the brewers.
because
It
it's
is a seller person.
yes.
Yeah.
There you go. They,
that's something I've only recently been able to appreciate.
yeah,
Pilsners,
yeah.
but I like it. Yeah.
Eh.
It's
I
just
know I like
not
those
your
for sure. I could drink it all day, but it's like sometimes I want the flavor. sometimes I want that little extra bite, something extra in there.
But there's plenty of room for
Session
that in
IPAs.
the perfectly hopped Pilsner.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I remember we had Dan from Long Beach on, and he was
Yeah.
like, whenever I go to a new brewery, if they have a Pilsner, that's what I want to try because that tells you if they're good, or not.
Yep.
Because
It's just,
you
yeah,
can't hide
Yeah.
anything.
absolutely.
Yeah. It's
Amen.
beer flavored
Yeah,
beer.
yeah.
Beer flavored beer.
Mhm, for sure.
Yeah. What is that beer? You're
This is
always,
question 3?
This is question 3.
Oh, okay,
See
all
how-
right, sorry.
See how quick we got through
All right,
this?
so
Yeah.
quick.
What is that beer that you always want to see on tap? You go
You're
out to a
supposed to have
restaurant, you go on
content. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
you go
Yes.
out to a bar or restaurant, and you're like, I want this on tap every time I
Taurus
go out.
Bulba.
Ooh,
What was that?
Yeah. This is a beer we've been talking
The
about
most perfect
recently.
beer I have ever drank in my life.
So you're going to have
Say
to
it again.
elaborate.
I did not hear.
It's Taurus Bulba.
I'm not
By
familiar.
De La Seine, a Belgian brewery.
Oh.
It is
It's perfect.
it is a beautiful beer.
We
Where can you
first had
find
it at
it?
Monks,
Yeah.
and then
at Monks, okay.
Sacred Profane had it too.
Where's
Yeah,
Sacred
Nick.
Profane?
Biddeford,
Okay.
Maine.
Okay.
Oh.
So both places hard to get to from here. I'm like, damn it, Tim.
I don't get to Philly or Maine nearly as often as I should.
They're not so far from here. It's just a perfect beer, and like every time, I don't know.
What style is it?
I have to say
strong,
Belgian.
or-
Yes,
Belgian
right? Like,
blonde Saison-y
Okay.
thing.
thing.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
its own
Sort of
beautiful.
like Golden Draken, that it's not this style, but it's really not that style
It's-
either.
Yeah.
But it's just fucking good.
and there's
it's
all this
beautiful.
lore behind it, and it's like it's
Yeah.
just such a perfect beer, and then has this perfect story, and you're just like, I want to drink that, like that, for a very long time. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to now keep an eye out.
what was the
Taurus Bulba.
Taurus Bulba? No,
Yeah.
Taurus or Tara?
Taurus.
Taurus.
Tarus.
Taras, I believe.
Yeah.
So, like, without the apostrophe to make it
B-O.
possessive. Right?
ULBA,
Yeah.
I believe. It is.
Interesting. I'd like to see the label as well.
am
Pete's
not-
Yeah,
doing
the
our...
label is fantastic.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, it's like
it's-
it's part of the lore where there's like a
Is it
dad
named
beating
after the
up
novella by Nikolai Gogol?
All that sounds correct.
but it looks like a circus.
Or the 2009 film? Or the 1962 film?
62 probably, if I had to guess. What are you looking it up on Google?
Yeah, just Google it.
Oh, okay.
And the brewery's De La Seine.
De La Seine.
Yeah.
Taurus Bulba. Oh, I spelled it wrong.
Yeah, you did. That's a cool label. Nice.
He's going to beat that poor person up with a knife.
Yes, yeah. So it's the yes.
There's a story behind that, I
Yeah.
would
Oh,
assume,
wow.
that goes
It's
into
But I
not
that.
a
feel
strong
like
ale by far with
sh-
4.5%.
Ooh.
I like
so
that.
drinkability way up.
It's
Oh, man.
beautiful.
It
A
looks-
very
that looks
very
like
very
Dutch.
pretty beer.
What is he going to do with? Oh man, this
With
poor
all
person.
these things.
Well, I gotta read up on this. Obviously.
Yeah, now I'm interested. Keep an eye out for that. Now I got that in my my memory bank. Great. Did you say which one it was?
I didn't.
All
I
right,
really
let's see.
can't think of one.
Yeah. It can't be yours.
No,
Yeah,
it's
all
not. I really don't know.
As you do that, I'm going to drink some more peach
Yeah.
because I love the peach flavor.
I do. You know, I'm also a big fan of Guinness.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
Safe
so-
bet. You're gonna find it.
But you know, there is something to say about a well poured Guinness. There is
Yeah.
a lot of BS Guinness around.
BS poured or BS
BS
served?
Who pours it well? Out in
Legends.
Metallic.
Legends.
Really?
Legends.
Legends
area.
out by us.
Okay.
Yeah. Taps and Corks does too. Yeah.
But you want a Carlsberg if you go to
Yeah.
Taps
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Corks.
So the true, because I was a bartender for 20 years.
Two stage pour.
I guess. 2-stage pour. We'll do 45-degree angle on the Guinness harp.
Yeah.
Let it sit to the very bottom of the harp, and then let it sit till full
Yep.
kind of head comes up, and then it's full pour straight in,
Yep.
and then to the top.
Yep.
Okay, I do it right.
How
then.
else would you do it?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Some people don't know. Some people just they walk away, right? I've seen it.
That's
I've
Most
seen it.
people don't, and Legends will pour it that way.
Good.
For sure.
Yeah, that's the right way. All right, I'm just making sure. Never was taught that. Just did my own research, just trying to be a better bartender in the world of the serving industry. And after a while, you get people that would yell at you if you did it wrong. And I'm like, no, go look it up. Go look at it. It's 45 degree.
Yeah.
Got to keep it, and it's got to sit. Got to let it sit and let it settle.
You gotta let it settle.
Yeah, people don't have the patience for that.
Yeah,
I'm busy Friday, Saturday night here at Governor's, and they're like, dude, I need the freaking. They're the waitresses are in the window waiting for service. Like, I need the Guinness. Like, it's gotta sit. They don't care. It's dark, and they don't care. It's gotta sit. I'm anal about that.
They're right. It's dark and they don't care.
No, that's I would say you are right, but for me to have self-worth as I walk out of here, I need to know that I poured it correctly. No, it was one of those things where there's been people I've seen. I'm just like, it just hurts your soul a little bit when it's not done correctly.
Well, I think that's with a lot of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Especially a beer like Guinness has so much history, so much went into that beer.
Absolutely.
To disrespect it by just firing off a pint and
and
sending
just
it out.
shooting it out. It's like, what was the point of all those hard work of the people of?
Maybe you should think like that guy and beat someone up with a half.
Yeah, well, that's probably what it was. They're going to change the Guinness logo to people just shoving beers to a window, like get it out.
But I think the pouring experience. The visual is the start of the sensory experience.
Yes,
right? So
100%.
Just like if you order a plate of food, if it looks like shit.
If it looks like shit, like what
Yeah.
are you doing? And you look at someone like Dan Suarez who just puts so much effort in his beer and his pours with these beautiful like pillowy heads on it. It's beautiful.
It is.
But it really sets up the experience and sets up an expectation of what you're going to have.
What I do like about these farmhouses is that exact pillowiness, the small, tiny bubbles, and look at that just
that's
cloud.
that natural carbonation.
Right?
They're 3 volumes, 3+ volumes of CO2 in there. Champagne-y like texture, and it's just
I'm liking everything about this conversation.
What was the IPA that we had that at first was like blown away? It was a champagne-y small bubble IPA. Why can't I think of the name of it?
From who?
I think it was Harborhead or something. It was somebody.
Oh, they had a Brett IPA.
Brett, yes.
Yeah,
When
that
Brett
was very
IPAs were going around, I really liked that because I like
that
tiny
one a lot.
bubbles,
Yeah.
but I also then
They had a
don't
good
always
fall
like the
beer,
over-the-top sweetness of a champagne. I like dryness of my champagne.
Yes.
So
Hard had some good beers.
yeah, there was something there, man. I mean, they're still doing it, but I'm just saying. I haven't talked to Will in a long time.
Nope.
I don't even know if he's still there. Who knows? I don't know. Let's get into these beers because I really want to break some of these down, and let's start with the palate cleanser itself. This is the Pils.
Yeah.
Love this beer again. House
like the
Pils
label.
coming
House
through.
Pils, yeah, great.
One of those ones that
Label design or the label art by local artist Scott Bludorn.
and it really follows through. You guys do a lot of this
Yeah.
pencil drawing.
Yeah.
It's all Scott Bludorn.
Yeah, it's and we've had this for a very long time
From
so,
the beginning.
I mean, just the thing that would separate you from others.
Yeah, and I think, as you look at good design, there's certain fixed elements and certain fluid elements.
Yeah.
One of our important fixed elements in this is Scott Bludorn and his pencil drawings.
Now, is he still with you, still doing new stuff?
He's a standalone
Ongoing?
artist. We buy the art from him.
Whenever
He's
you
still
want.
on the
Weekends.
East End, I do believe.
Still out in Montauk, I believe.
Okay.
And
Anytime you need a new label, you're like, let's go, Scott. Need something.
But yeah, this is a beautiful kind of German-style pills.
Loved it.
Some sweetness in
Hallertauer, Mittelfrüh, Hersbrucker hops. Just
Hersbrucker,
really,
that is the one for me.
Hersbrucker.
Are these German-style hops?
German noble hops. I'm going to have a little bit more.
Go for it, yeah. Well, I'm gonna as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going palate cleanser for sure. I like it. It was one of those.
A little bit malty.
Yeah, just
it's.
And then going kind of backtracking or backpedaling from what I said before. Not my favorite style. Yeah. However, when it's there,
good. It's a solid beer.
I realize I'm drinking way too much of it. Like that's the thing. Like it's in a cooler. It's somewhere. I'm like, no, I'm gonna go back to the Pils because I know what I'm gonna get. I know what I'm gonna get. Especially
it's hard to. I mean, for most people,
it
not
is.
you. It's hard to drink 17 double IPAs It's not hard to drink 17 pills.
I don't know about 17. I mean, let's pump the brakes a little bit here, guys.
You should pump the brakes a little bit. I've seen it happen.
I'm a functioning alcoholic. Listen,
There's no
you
judgment.
haven't seen 17. Maybe you've seen 7. That's for sure.
I sure have.
And I've been good
I'd
to
have
go.
8 beers. Let's go.
Yeah,
I think
I got some beers. Let's drink them.
what's great about a Pilsner, though, it's one of those beers that if you're in the right setting, you can break it apart and talk about the type of maltiness it has. So this one, a little bit of like crackeriness, bread crust.
Okay,
kinda
now I got to drink them while
dry,
you're saying those
little
things
bit of
because I want to
honey.
pay attention. I still
But
do.
you can also just
that other one?
crush
Is
it
that
if
other
you
Yeah.
want. Like you don't need to.
Thank you.
It's really a beer for any occasion that you can, if you're, sitting around with your beer geek friends, talk about the hop aromas, the malt aromas and flavors and all that, or just be sitting there watching the game, just drinking them,
Pounded 7 of them.
pounding and not think twice about it.
I would like this by a campfire in
Yeah.
the fall. Even if I would like even if I had a leaf pile there too.
Yeah.
I think this would work nicely right there.
After I mow the lawn in like July.
Yeah, sweating through
Yeah.
your underwear, and you're like, "Cool, man."
I mean, we don't have to go that.
I'm just saying, you're going to. I mean, let's not lie
But those
about
are also
things.
very
Drinking beers
different
and mowing the lawn is
experiences,
a
big
right?
thing for
And,
us.
and I
Yeah.
think a beer like this can serve both of those experiences. Whether you're sitting by a campfire, you're at a
Universal.
tailgate,
Yeah.
if you're at the
Yes.
beach, whatever.
I like you said the crispiness.
Yeah.
It's crisp pills,
Yeah.
and that's what kind of keeps me around. That's
Yeah.
why those dull pills sometimes like it's got or over the top bite. Like I always found like Bud Heavy was just too much bite sometimes for my
That's
palate.
why you got to go Coors Banquet.
Yeah, well, you gotta have the buffet of beers.
It's.
I do.
I don't know.
One of the great
pretty great.
things. One of the great things about Pilsner that's produced in the States. You think about Pilsner that you're getting from Europe. It's
Yeah.
already a month old before it gets
I
here,
know.
right?
Well, can I just share a story? I
Yeah.
went to Amsterdam and I had Heineken in
Yeah.
Amsterdam.
Totally different beer.
It
Totally
only
different
tastes.
beer.
It only tastes good there.
No, it tastes all right here.
Yeah.
I
I
was
like-
a big
I like
drinker.
Heineken, though.
Yeah,
I do.
I drank
Yeah.
Heineken growing up, and
Yeah.
and
Amstel.
I like the skunkiness of it, and I think that's what
it's-
translated into Belgian style beers for me.
yeah.
It's not the same skunk for sure, but I'm just saying it's that kind of like just turn a little bit that you're like, you go there, clean, just
Yes.
clean beer.
It's a
You're
fun
like,
tour too.
Wow. Yeah, and especially when your wife gives you all the beer tickets that you get, and I had all of the tickets in my hand, and I got to drink all
I have
the
a fun
beers.
off-air story.
They had their own
Amsterdam.
pour. You could pour yourself a beer. It was fantastic. Not to mention a beautiful city and everything else. It's just like the whole atmosphere
I have
just
a-
kind of
I have a fun story.
wanna
We're not going to
hear
share.
about
I
Heineken.
want to hear this story.
Is it
Oh,
another
no,
time
no.
you sweat through your underwear?
We're not sharing. This
Okay,
story.
that's fine. All right. Does it have to do with Amsterdam?
Yeah.
Okay, you were there?
Yeah.
When were you there?
June-ish of 2004.
Yeah,
I had been dating Terry for a little while, and I
Yeah.
had planned a trip with a friend. We planned it around going to see Metallica
okay.
in Amsterdam. So we did
Oh, you saw Metallica in Amsterdam?
we did London, Barcelona,
Yeah.
Amsterdam, Edinburgh, London, home in like 10 days. But
Why did you ever have kids? Wasn't that an awesome trip?
it was a
enough to
fucking
say-
awesome trip. Yeah, no, and we planned it around seeing Metallica in Offspring. And we
Yeah.
saw the opening bands, which seems crazy to say now. The opening bands were Slipknot and Korn,
Yeah.
and then and then Metallica.
Right, that's so
which
great.
was
Sure, it wasn't a
pretty
festival.
fucking, it was no.
You didn't
it
go to
was just
Leeds?
it was just a fucking. That was just a fucking concert
smokes,
at a
dude.
soccer stadium in Amsterdam, and it was
Wow.
as amazing as it sounds.
Yeah, it is.
Someone died.
It was that good.
It was
Yeah,
that.
that's how
I go by number of
someone
deaths
took
for
a
how good a
fucking header
concert is.
off the-
Oh, sorry for
Well,
the
the
family, but
nosebleeds,
still, I
but-
had a great time.
it was
So you went to Heineken Brewery?
yeah.
You did the tour and everything.
Did the tour.
Yeah.
Walked around Amsterdam and
Yeah.
all of that involved.
Yep. Yep.
I counted. I don't think this is going to get me in trouble.
Yeah.
We stayed at hostels and we did a loop. So like the hostel we were staying at was like one block off the red light district. So
Okay.
we went around.
Yeah.
And in that like one block, jaunts, I had been offered Coke or
Yep.
ecstasy
Oh, yeah.
11 times.
Hash. I got offered hash and ecstasy and mushrooms, actually.
Someone was just
Back-
walking by, Coke, Charlie.
Yeah.
Coke, Charlie.
Yeah.
11 times.
I think it's anyone that goes to Amsterdam and walks the red light district as a tourist is going to get offered
Yeah.
all sorts of random stuff. Just ridiculous amounts. Yes. No, they won't get in. Why would they get in trouble?
Oh, no. Well, that's not the story.
Oh, all right. All right. So we'll save it for after the show. But yeah, I mean, you're right. 100% that beer that comes over on a shipping container
Not the same.
is
as what
never
you
going to be
get.
the same.
No.
I mean, even if you get Belgian Franciscans, monks, anything like that, it's still time. It's the fact that it got shaken, it got sunlight exposure, the number of factors, the heat, the cold.
I had seen in an interview one time with Jim Cook from Sam Adams, and they were taking
Jim
questions from the internet, and that was one of the questions is, why can't I get this in Europe? And he was saying, I'm making liquid bread. If I shipped you, if I made you a loaf of bread here, and then I had to ship it to France, it's
gonna be
not going to be great.
Less than spectacular.
Yeah.
So it is great to see some of the Pilsners that are being produced here. But, as we've talked about, it is a great window into the skill of the brewery.
Yeah.
If you see a brewery that has a Pilsner on, you should try it just to see.
As
see
a
where their
baseline
heads are at.
test.
Yeah,
kinda.
baseline test. And, maybe some of their other beers are good, but just see where their heads are at because there's not really much to hide behind.
Yeah, I was going to say they can't hide by anything, so that's exactly the thought process.
I'd say the same for Kolsch's and Wits.
Yeah,
Kolsch's.
yeah. Anything else that's
That's-
clean and
yes.
simple.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the Kolsch's.
Yeah.
That's
What's the Kolsch that's in the little pop top thing? The little green bottle with the white cap that comes off with the
someone with the G.
Oh, no, Grolsch.
Grolsch.
Yeah, Grolsch.
Not
Yes.
Kolsch. Grolsch.
Oh, the whole
Kolsch.
glass is called that. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Grolsch, and it's like that rubber stopper with the little
Yes.
white.
Yeah.
Yep.
I had a few of those in my
Yeah.
day. And
Gaffa Kolsch is the other big Kolsch.
Ah,
Which
okay.
one?
Gaffa?
Goth.
That one. I
Yeah.
don't think about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember
Kolsch is a great style.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a good style.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the other side.
All right.
Yeah.
Because this is the I think the most widely drank style that you guys have.
Yeah.
You might kind of come back at me and be like, nah, not as sold
No, I
as
think
much,
we
but
agree. It keeps
I
the
think
lights on,
No, it's
yes.
it's definitely, I would say, one of our flagships.
And
Yeah.
we, as production staff and our taproom staff, it's our go-to.
yeah.
It's ABV is a little high for
Yeah.
us to
You're
say
professionals.
that, but, yeah. But it also
Keeping it
allows,
professional.
it allows us to call it out when
Something's wrong.
yeah.
You know
well,
it.
it's never wrong.
Well,
But we've
Something's not where you want it to be.
desire consistency on this
Yeah.
guy, and it.
How tough is it to keep with those? Do you have to end up blending with some of these core beers?
No, not as often as you think. Right. So there are occasions where blending happens just to make sure that something happened with this batch and something happened with that batch, and we're gonna make them one batch and make it regular. If we're allowed that, we'll do it. Those are few and far between. We have not dumped a fermenter in my time there,
wow. There you go.
There you go.
which is very nice. And
You should have one of those safety
But,
charts.
how do you
I was gonna
how do you
tell a
maintain
joke.
that consistency? What do you think?
I'm not a popular person.
Well, no,
That's the right answer. Everybody hates and fears
Respected, not loved.
Exactly.
not wrong.
Yeah.
It's fine. Because it's just beer and culture all
What
day.
a great fucking answer.
But yes, I'm not a popular person and beer first and culture, but I cannot say it enough that the team that we have exactly now is what gives you guys your experience
Yeah.
from the time that the grain is put in the mash tun to the time it's put in your hand. And I'm so proud of all of us.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Shout out to the team.
And I'm very unpopular for that.
Well, you might be a little more popular now you said that because there's a lot of love given.
But
Pete's
it's
crying. I
easier,
mean,
and it's,
What a great fucking answer.
There-
I'm
there-
not popular.
There is
how
a
I
lot of
maintain
science though that goes into it.
it is.
And
There is.
you know, starting out, you know, pH, temperature.
But we're paying attention to those things constantly, and not in a way that's like pretentious. We're paying attention to them because they're part of
It's
like,
important.
our daily routine, you know. And there's, for the amount of beer that we make, and that seriously only 7.5 people's hands have been on it at any given time. We're so happy about that.
how much of this are you churning out? And I say churning in a loving way.
I
It
don't
doesn't
do
sound that.
numbers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this beer is probably about 20% of our production.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? And it's
On the weekly schedule or on the not weekly? but-
every other week
Every
right
other
now.
week, okay.
But sometimes it's weekly.
Yeah.
And
Depending on the seasons, I guess, and
You know,
distribution
I think-
contracts.
In 90-barrel fermenters.
Yeah,
right?
oh,
like
Jesus.
in huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So it's
Situations
three
here.
brews that go into it. So I guess to your question of blending, there is some blending starting out, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 different brews that go into it. But because, and I think one of the beauties of having a beer like this, because we brew it so regularly, and because all of us drink a lot of it, you know, this is, you know, if you look on this, it says Rich India Pale Ale.
I was gonna-
Rich is one of our owners,
Yeah,
Yes.
right? This is the
Who
beer
will let
that,
us know if we substituted anything at
He
any
knows.
given batch?
Quality
Yes.
control IPA.
No,
Yeah.
no, it really is.
It is rich control
because
for
it's
sure.
it's kind of one of those things. You know, what Katie and I will get a text or an email that's like, oh, you know, batch, you know, and he'll be at the bar drinking, and he's like, this batch is a little sweeter. I'll go look at the keg tag and see what date. Sends us the keg tag. We drill into the, you know, we have these copious notes that we take on all of the brews that just
where
go
did we
through
get the hops from this time? Who's
yeah,
malts?
all the
Yeah.
lots,
The
all
brewery
the
is
temperatures,
ran on
all
brew
that,
sheets
right?
and post-its.
Yeah.
Just in case.
So we pulled that out and look at it, and you know, we see what the temperatures were, we see where it finished, we see, you know, what the mash pH was, what the whirlpool pH was, and just trying to drill into it. And you know, we've recently started sending different batches of this away to get analyzed by a lab, just to really kind of
See
try
if the
to
water had anything to do with it. Like
Yes.
this
all of
year's
that stuff,
everything.
right?
Our standardization of practices, and just
Yeah.
to constantly be checking in
Yeah.
on ourselves even.
You know, one thing that really came through to us last year is we transitioned from brewing, you know, a lot during the summer and brewing a little bit less in the winter, where we're maybe doing 2 brews a day instead of 3 brews a day, was the water temperature of the cooling apparatus and how long it was sitting in the whirlpool, from the whirlpool through the heat exchanger to the fermenter. An extra 30 minutes of time that it was sitting there on the hops really influenced it. And just kind of drilling into things like that, and just
Can you counteract that in any way? Is
yeah,
there
but
things
just
you could do?
standardizing the amount of time that you're running off the beer. So on the days that are the water's colder, you actually hold it longer to mirror the time, just to make it more standardized.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And it's kind of, I think, one of the beauties of having a beer like this.
Just balancing the equation at all
Yeah,
times.
balancing the equation all the time, and
All the time.
learning as a team kind of the different components of what really impacts a beer.
I mean, the people think they want to just start brewing tomorrow. There's so much more that has to go into it for yourself. Just
For
for
yourself,
Well, if you want to do it right.
right.
It's even, you know, we've
For the self-respect.
Katie and I have been doing this for a long time, but sticking with one beer, one product, one thing, and being able to just really see how it's going.
Just get it right.
Just get it right.
Yeah.
And to keep getting it right.
Yeah.
You know,
Right?
over
To keep
time,
getting it right
different,
is the thing.
you know, different days, different lots, different.
It's how you learn your equipment,
yeah,
how you
yeah.
learn your problem solving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
what can fix this to get back
Yeah.
to where we need to be.
Yeah.
Or how do I get back to my baseline? Now, this one, you said it was brewed with Centennial?
Yes.
Columbus.
Centennial, Columbus, Chinook.
Chinook.
and Simcoe.
It's one of those ones, like you've kept the artwork
Yeah.
from day one, right?
Yep.
Same exact
When it
artwork.
was in a bottle.
Yeah. Same
Yeah,
artwork.
Same artwork.
And then you just kind of updated like the can wrap and all
Yep.
that other stuff. So,
Yep.
I mean, Live Deep has
Yeah.
always been
Yeah.
like the tag. What's the sense of that? What's the story behind it?
It's a Thoreau quote, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's Thoreau, but it's basically just no matter what you're doing, embrace it and live it and experience it.
It's kind of like live deep into yourself.
Yeah,
at all times.
or whatever's going on. One
in
of the
our
other
maritime climate, I think it
Yeah.
nods to all of it, like the literary, the philosophical, the environment,
philosophical.
That live deep.
Like, be as crazy as you're meant to be. Be as weird as
we
you're meant to
definitely
be.
into that. Yes.
Yeah.
we're just really dig into things, right? Like a beer like this that we've produced, tens of thousands of barrels of over the course of our
That was
lifetime.
going to be my next question. Like, how much you think you produced of this?
Yeah,
This is like the
tens
thing.
of thousands of barrels, right?
Jesus, can you imagine?
And it's thought versus action too,
Yeah.
right? Like this guy thinks and can describe all the things. I just make sure the ship keeps going forward, right? Like
Pull the
we have
mainsail,
to do
move
the
it
thing at some point, and to find balance in everything that you do throughout the day and your team and all of that is really what we're leading into,
Yeah.
and just really trying to honor as like that embarrassment of riches.
Well,
Like,
while you're saying
seriously.
that, and that reminds me, is something that came up maybe last year, right? We were in the studio, we were talking to people, Greenport came up. And it might have even been during Lady Brewster's show. I'm not quite sure.
I wouldn't be
But
there.
something came up, and I said, I haven't seen much happening from Greenport lately, and it hasn't come up in our
do remember
feed.
that
You remember that
conversation,
conversation? And we
That's what it was.
realized,
We're like, oh, I've never. They don't pop up
Are
on the
they-
Instagram feed, and then we're like,
are they
oh,
still
look,
doing stuff?
They're doing a lot of cool shit.
Holy
Why
shit.
haven't we been seeing it?
Right. And it just dawned on me. I'm like, I remember. It comes up a lot more often now, by the way, and not just recently since we started doing. I mean, like since we had that conversation, now it becomes one of those things in the feed that is there. But it's so weird that things like the algorithm,
That was weird.
if you lay off it for a minute or
Yeah.
it just disappears. How do you
Yeah.
guys keep up with stuff like that? Like
we lean into the sincerity of who we are.
yeah, I mean, you got to just keep
Honestly.
doing your thing, and,
Yeah.
and because as soon as we went back onto the Instagram posts, right?
And I'm like, let me just like.
Pete's
a
like,
bunch of shit.
they came out with this, they came out with that. I'm like, what?
And I'm
What
like,
the
that
hell
sounds
happened?
awesome. I wish I had known about that.
Yeah, because it just hasn't come up in the algorithm.
Same fucking thing, because now it's not.
Yeah, well, no, it definitely is.
No, now I'm just
saw
liking
it
everything
today.
for the past fucking month.
No, but now you
Because-
can't-
1,000%
Don't do that.
sure
Oh, no,
there
I'm
was a
doing it.
wet hot post this morning.
Yeah, so there's definitely
So,
something.
yeah.
We might have liked that. I don't remember seeing it, but it definitely.
Reggae fest.
I scroll so fast now. I'm just.
Yeah.
I think it's also one of those things, so Live Deep has kind of been our tagline since we've been packaging. Another tagline we've come up with, and this is really with the launch of these communications beers, is in diligent pursuit. And really,
Are you guys including these in like tags and stuff
Yeah.
like that?
yeah,
good,
and it's
yeah.
more, Instagram tags
Yeah,
and really
of course.
establishing
But
it.
that's the way
it-
you kind of like put yourself
but it's
in
also
that,
an
that
ethos
space.
that we're really trying to embody
Mm-hmm.
with whatever we do it diligently in pursuit of this excellence
And with
that
purpose.
we're trying to do
Yep.
with purpose, with some sort of vision that we're trying to achieve and not just kind of going through the motions.
I think, like after we've kind of went through that, we were like, we really missed out on some stuff. And you really got to, but as a consumer and the people that are listening to this show, you really got to stay with the brands and the things that you know and explore what's going on. Because if you don't, you're going to miss stuff. We missed some stuff and we're like, wow, we really did.
This,
We were annoyed.
Sailing Solo, Nelson Hop IPA.
We have that.
We have that one for you guys.
Son of a bitch. See what
You
happens?
did not miss it.
Yes,
Did not miss it.
it.
Good job, Peter. Good job. How did you do that? Was
think
that recently? That was August 18th. All right. Nice.
It is one of those things, and I think this is a struggle in craft beer. I see it for myself. You go into the grocery store or the beer store, and there are just so many brands.
It's overwhelming.
so
isn't
many
it?
SKUs.
Yes.
How do you keep up? I think the key is to find people and brands you trust and just
Agreed.
explore what they're doing.
So same thing goes with just seeing pretty pictures online, right? I mean, if you know you like something, just stick with it and stay to it. We're a bit of internet whores, I would call ourselves, because we just follow so many breweries and we see what's going on just to stay up with the times.
Yeah.
But when it comes to it, I have my own personal account where I just follow the ones on Long Island that I like. And so when we had that conversation, I popped up on my Instagram and it came right up. It was within like the top 10 posts of what it did. So it's just a matter of who you follow and what you go and your brand loyalty in the end. And you guys are really establishing that over the time of, your existence. It's brand loyalty. You get returning people from generations now. You're crossing generations of, like my kids will eventually end up probably drinking Greenport at one point. She's only less than 10 years away from being 21. My son is already tasting foam. And at this point, they're kind of interested in what's
All my
out
kids
there.
have to smell it. That's the
I did the foam. The foam has been the thing for the last 2 years. And when if
I
I had this, I'm going to have to hide it from them. Because if they had this, they'd be like, that's candy. I'm like, yes, it is. It's candy for adults.
They started asking me, can I get a beer that's this color? And
you want the pink beer?
Purple.
Which one did you have? Purple Haze?
Someone you'd give me Root and Branch.
Oh, I don't know.
Purple Sour or something.
I don't know what that was. But the overall, brand loyalty to Greenport is still long-standing. And now
but I think that's so much part of what we're trying to move forward to after
the history of what you guys have done.
Years to carry on a legacy, right? Like, we're so fortunate to be in the position to even consider such a thing. And then the weight of having to do it. Just let's do it really, really fucking well.
Has anyone come to Greenport, like InBev or anybody, to try to buy out? Has anyone tried to grab the bigger goods?
Tilray.
Yeah, no, there at times there's been discussions, but I think at least right now we still there's really something important about being independent.
What do you think would happen? I mean, overall, you're offered a lot of money, right? A lot of money for the label, for the brand. Is it something that you would ever consider?
It's hard to say,
right.
But I think
without the actual offer on the table.
No, but at least right now, we would not be able to launch a beer like this in these next few weeks if we were owned by one of the big.
Correct.
It would just be all leaf pile, all other side, and it's not to say that that's
all
bad.
Yeah.
But there's so much more to do.
If you get rid of the soul and the heart of things, you have to rely on the head and the money, and they have to fucking get it right.
Yeah.
So if everybody's
change
a
the mindset.
team instead, if you are a authentic and genuinely driven creative purpose, nobody can ever capture that.
And listen, I'm not trying to catch you on anything or anything.
No, like this is the conversation we want to have.
No matter what I would, if the number was right, even if it was my baby, I'd probably. I'm not trying to push you to say that, but
which child, Mac or I?
I would sell him in a heartbeat.
Which one?
Well, and I think I think the difference here, right?
It depends on the contract, right? It depends if they let you own and operate just like you have. Nothing changes. Can still do the terms and conditions, right? That's what
they better do right by everybody involved,
right?
Well, and I think that's an important difference, but it is really when you look at a lot of the breweries that have been purchased, who can you point to that got better when they got purchased?
None.
I can't think of anyone.
I don't know of anyone that used that money towards doing more direct-to-consumer, small batch stuff. They all just use it to scale up to get their stuff out.
Yeah, it's
so
about
you're
growth.
saying
it's about
the
growth.
InBev purchase of Shock Top wasn't the better of the industry.
Yeah,
that's a bull. I don't know. I don't know if I can follow you.
I don't know if I could ever make that decision. Is what I'm saying. Like I can. We've interviewed so many
argument
people
that it improves the industry in wider distribution.
Yeah,
but I think in any single brand, I don't think we've seen a single brand that's improved after they were bought out.
Yeah, but they've established their high mark already.
Yeah,
and they're just continuing
that's the high watermark.
Treading
now
water.
It's just growth. Now it's just it's a different metric. And I think as Katie's talking about this, head and heart difference. If if making beer was just about an equation, the smartest people would do it. The big companies would do it. That's not how innovation is happening, though.
Yeah. And it's also not pushing the industry further. It's not driving the people above them to kind of compete or pushing the people below them to try to achieve.
Yeah. But beer has never just been business, right? You look at all these monasteries, you look at all these traditions, you look at the equipment we use to equate carbonation and how antiquated it is. It's a theme that we should honor, and there's so much to all of that we just can't simplify it. So, like
you said, doing it with I would quote Loki, with noble purpose, right? I mean, that's what it is. And being able to
absolutely, I love that.
to walk home and be able to, say and sleep tight like I've done my job today,
or drive home if you didn't have too much.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, really walk home for most
as
of us.
As long as you remember to
turn
the gas off.
Just sleep.
You got to remember you turn the gas off.
Is the carbonation off? Like, what are we doing here? Yeah.
No one dies of carbon monoxide tomorrow, please. We just can't have that.
So our canning guy is very valuable, but he also texts me every night saying
Sleeps
gas
at the brewery.
is off. Gas is off. Gas is off. All tanks, all CO2 is off.
Because that is something that you will wake up at 2:00 in the morning and be like, shit.
Now I got to get to the brewery and go check my. It's like me leaving the back door open in bed, and I go, "Did I lock the back door? And I got to go downstairs." It's even worse when you got to get in the car and drive to make sure it's all off. Mm-hmm. I completely agree with your assessment and what it would be. It would be a tough decision, but it would also be, in my opinion, for most people, terms and conditions. If you can still keep the heart of the people and the heartbeat of what's going on and what you guys have been for the last 14, 15 years, then that's one thing. It's another thing, though, to then, just
keeping the lights on is
sell
also
out. Right. Yeah, I was going to say sell out and keep the lights on and keep things going.
I think it's also about taking care of your team.
But I don't think you guys are desperate. Not at all. No. You guys have done your own thing forever, and it's been exactly what you need to be.
And we talk about the team, and maybe we don't talk enough about how grateful we are for the founders and how much they will listen and how much license they've given us to make all of these things. This is incredible.
One of my other questions was, how much leeway do you guys have to kind of do these series? Are they just like, do it? Or there's a lot of discussion? Is there...
I think they've been watching us for a long time.
Yeah.
Right? Like, our credibility is decent with them.
The trust is built.
And I want to believe that they let us do these things because of what we've
the successes speak for themselves.
Yes, exactly.
Well, and I think it's also one of those things, we do talk about these ideas. John, one of our founders, John, Katie, and I worked on this label how many iterations together.
How excited was he when you guys did? I could just see it. He's like reinvigorated with like...
It was... When we put these through, we labeled these on Friday because we can them without labels, and then we can condition them for months. We just got the labels, labeled them, and we're all like looking at these like, kids on Christmas morning, and it's like, man, that looks...
We did the thing, and this
was so
a couple iterations deep.
Just four people sitting in a room like, yes.
I think especially the bleed on the green port is just like...
Yeah, and that was all one of our founders who to have in-house art too is. Yeah.
And they still have a really big part in decision making, correct?
Oh yeah,
they're still hands on.
Yep, absolutely.
Every day. That's fantastic. Yeah. And sometimes you don't get that. When they put people in place and they do trust them like you trust you guys, they tend to step back, but they still have a huge investment here on what they've started and what they want to keep going.
Well, and I think this is, the danger of being bought out. Right. That, you get some corporate office, you get some number crunchers in that, start defining what you're doing with the dry hop because, if we only put, a pound per barrel instead of 4 pounds per barrel, we'll make this much more profit over
the bottom line changes.
Yeah. But we grew up with Rich and John. Really, right?
Who just want the best out of the beer.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about what you guys have in the future here. So what are some, or are there any big plans? I mean, obviously you rolled out these farmhouse, so that's really probably the focus right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
But there's
That's the
anything
new big thing.
1000%.
Yeah. Is there anything else, chatter or anything in the distance that you're thinking of? Maybe a third
The
location,
collaboration,
if something else? Something else for expansion?
We've
Throwing around
for
some
a
ideas?
long time looked at another possible location, but you really just need to figure out
When
what-
it's right, it's right.
Yeah, when it's right, and none of the locations have been right.
Have you scouted stuff out? Were we,
It's
like,
always
reaching?
kind of one of these things where it's like, oh, Greenport.
Where have you looked, and why is it Farmingdale?
Yeah, yeah.
It's in that 2-story building, isn't
Not
it?
Farmingdale.
God damn it!
Lindenhurst.
Wait, maybe more on that.
Yeah, maybe you should tell us.
No, there's something going on in Farmingdale. We're not quite sure what it is yet, but there's something going on.
I think for us, the bigger focus right now is the farmhouse stuff we're doing. We do have 2 more beers that are coming out in a few more months.
The farmhouse
In
series.
this series.
In this series,
Yeah.
Oh,
one
Jesus.
that we did with Carmenere grapes, one
Oh, that's
that's
right.
out
You
of
were
the
talking about the
fooder.
beers, yeah.
So those beers, and then, these soundings beers, and, really just kind of expanding what we're doing.
Yeah.
There's so much to
But not
explore.
even expanding, even with Ripples, and
Yeah.
come back to the village and visit us, and taste a black IPA.
I got to go back to Greenport because
Yeah,
I've been to Peconic way too
exactly.
many times in the last few years since post-COVID, we'll say. I've been there a lot.
The village of Greenport is excellent, and the brewery there will always resound with the people that had ever brewed beer there or cellared there. A lot of it's a very, very special space.
So
have some
every
very special
let's say
beers.
every November or so, I go up to Boston. I go up to meet my buddies, and the stops are Greenport.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been up there in a couple of years, but and on the way back, it's Jamesport. So those are the
Nice.
2 stops I have going out, picking up, going back, and because just timing wise, on my way out, it's like 3 or 4 o'clock or somewhere in there, and on the way back it's a little earlier. It's like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. So, and it's a different day. So I mean, for the most part, just that back and forth drive. But the Peconic spot is like the summer spot. Bring the kids, bring
Yeah.
the buddies, bring everybody. Crudités, everyone's getting sandwiches. It's one of those things. For me, it's also another 25 minutes or whatever away. So if I can get out there and get back quicker on a summer
Absolutely.
weekend, it makes more sense. I'm not defending myself
And that's
at all.
where we
Just
make
saying
the
that-
beer too. It's a
Yeah.
whole other different experience.
And it's more spread out. Again, places where the kids can play. But I will say this: I remember in Greenport itself, another memory, when you guys were able to take over a section of the parking lot or a little area, roped off area.
Oyster Fest is coming October
Oh, that's
8th.
right. I did
Yeah.
see
Come
that.
see us then.
Oh.
Yes. We do close down the entire parking lot.
What's
for
the
that.
what's the date on the
October 8th? It's a Sunday.
We'll both be
So I might
slinging
get
beers
to see
on
there,
the
too.
fire
Yeah,
truck.
we'll-
Are
we'll-
you? Yeah. Nice. I love that. I love when I get to see things. All right, Instagram. I'll talk to you tomorrow. I remember that little area. I remember drinking a nice clean leaf pile in that little parking lot. I'm going, why won't they just set up a nice tasting room outdoors? And then I think this was before you had Peconic, and then all of a sudden Peconic, and I'm like, yes, this is exactly where I want to drink my beers. So, sorry, I just had to throw that out there.
No,
That's good
That's
stuff.
great. And
The-
that's part of who we are. Is those memories.
Oh,
of
so many memories.
beer
Yes,
drinking,
and that's why I
right?
was so sought after to have you guys come on today, because I have so many, just like little stories involving with my craft beer,
Journey.
I guess lifestyle or journey is good.
We take pride in that.
Yeah.
It's.
I'm
it's
sure
great
you've shared
to-
with
yeah.
so many other people too.
Yeah.
So many other people probably have those same memories of great times and
But I love
good
that
beers.
you brought up your cinnamon sugar rim and all that, because it's all part of that, right? Like, we don't hate it. We love
No,
it.
it was one of the
Exactly what
first.
everybody's doing.
One of the first times I ever enjoyed
Good
like a
story.
cinnamon sugar rim was with leaf pile, and it's one of those things. I remember describing it to one of the members at the country club. I'm like, just picture those days, and these are all older gentlemen, so they remember this. Remember the smell of like burnt leaves in the street. And now add a little bit of that apple and pumpkin pie that you guys used to have.
Really painting a picture.
Oh yeah. I mean, immediately it's bringing them back to their childhood, and then boom, they have it and they go, "You're so right. Candy apple, leaf burning." I'm like, yes.
So it seems like we should do a smoked malt version of the pie next year.
It might sound like that. And
I
also
like
they
that
should probably
idea.
come out for the
I am
apple pie
liking
slushie
that idea.
Ralph
at this
beer.
point.
Yes.
That sounds gross, by the way.
Oh, I like burnt beers.
Oh yeah, no, we love
Toasted,
Ralph
smoked.
beer. Yeah.
I really want to, really quick before we start wrapping up here, I did have something I wanted to throw out there for a friend of mine. So sorry to kind of cite other breweries, but on October 15th,
Are these the hard-hitting questions?
No. This is the Babylon Breast Cancer Coalition is doing a fundraiser at Sand City on October 15th from 1 to 5 o'clock. Get your tickets now. We'll put it up on our Instagram. Live music from Spinderella. No?
I'm unfamiliar.
Radioactive is going to be there. Boogie Mama, Sweet
Les and Jake gonna be
Susie,
there?
Sinister Six. Amanda Nicole is going to be playing a lot of fun
What about
raffles.
No Effects?
No, no effects.
Any of your shitty fucking punk bands? gonna be
No.
there?
Oh my God, why you got so angry? It's
I don't like.
it's a breast cancer
well, no,
charity
the
coalition.
event is great.
But
Your
then they're going to
music
bring
is
no
obviously
effects.
terrible.
Terrible. So really quick, if
Totally
if you
my
check
vibe,
out
so
the
I'm not participate.
Sand City website, just go Sand City and then just find out about the breast cancer.
How will the parking be on Wellwood Avenue?
Probably
That's it.
awful.
Probably terrible.
That's just the way Lindenhurst
terrible.
is. But you'll
Terrible
find a
on
spot somewhere along, like
or you take the train.
25A somewhere.
Yeah, really.
Hampstead Turnpike, you can get a spot. No, but there's going to be
Take the train.
food trucks.
Take
There's going to
Amityville,
be
Lindenhurst,
raffle
and Babylon.
tickets, all sorts of stuff. So check it out. Again, it's the LWB and Sand City charity event. So I had to
Excellent.
throw that in there. I forgot
That's
about
good.
to talk about it. I had a reminder that popped up. That's why I had to say it.
Ah,
So I want to give you guys an opportunity to go ahead and give us the big plug. Actually, we didn't. You know what?
oh no! Before that, can we talk more about conversations?
Farmhouse.
No.
No. No. It's right. We are. Screw the plug. I want to talk about these farmhouses. So I
Yeah.
know you guys already
What are
kind
the?
of went.
There was another one coming up with grapes, and I missed what the fourth one was going to be.
Fooder.
Fooder.
Yeah.
But I want to hear about
I need more.
conversations. Give me the breakdown of how this is made. This is what I want to know because farmhouse to me means, wild fermentation.
Yep.
What does that include? What does that encompass?
So New York State ingredients.
Hudson
100%.
Valley Malt fucking
Yep.
kills it.
Wow.
Yeah.
They really
De-
do.
Dennis, Hudson Valley Malt.
Are
Awesome.
you guys have a farm brewery license?
We
Yes.
do. Yeah.
So when you're brewing this, you're putting it under that license, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why wouldn't you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Do you know what it's up to now? Is it 80%?
We've far exceeded
60%,
whatever
but
that
these
is.
are
Not bad.
all 100%.
Yeah,
we-
so it doesn't make a
and
difference.
for us, it was just important. Really, these beers, when you talk about farmhouse, it's about a place,
Yeah.
right? These for us really showcase our sense of place, which, Hudson Valley Malt, we're getting hops from New York Hop Guild, local fruits, the Invocations peaches from Justin Wisnowski, the Carmenere
If only there was a
grapes.
place to get grapes on Long Island.
Yeah, well, the Carmenere grapes, Osprey's
I
Dominion,
know, place.
really, really good stuff. And I think it's just a way to kind of showcase a different side of beer that we're really excited about.
And not just a different set of beer, but like the environment that makes us who we are out there.
Just continuing the
It
process.
explains
of it.
how a little off
expanding
all
on-
of us are, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't had. I've had some of your beers. Obviously, can't not.
Many of your
But like conversations and the Baltic Porter, fantastic. They're
You like that Baltic Porter?
I fucking loved it.
See, I didn't think you were a porter guy.
No, I liked it.
Baltic
you don't-
porter is not your everyday porter.
Yeah.
No, I mean you don't
Roasty, delicious.
I don't hear you seek it.
You know,
out.
just
I'm just
I
saying
like
it's
dark.
surprising.
I like some dark beers.
Yes.
All of like,
You like a
a
good
lot of the
Schwartz
stouts lately,
beer.
I find are just
They're too
shoveled
sweet. Too sweet.
full of fucking cereal
Yeah.
and candy, and too many adjuncts, and I
It's like a
can't-
good dry.
And I also
dark
don't
beer.
like coffee.
Yeah.
And that's another common adjunct. And
You like maple
Agreed.
syrup, though.
Agreed.
I don't do coffee at all.
Yeah.
So like that's.
I mean, I do coffee, but not in my beer.
No, I don't know. But no, that was the Baltic Porter is really goddamn good.
Awesome.
Roasty, clean, dry finish.
Yeah.
Approachable.
Yeah.
And all, it's not
Approachable for a 9%
For a bajillion
beer.
percent.
No.
Just so you know, that was 9%. FYI.
Fair enough.
Fair. Got me there.
No, those are exceptional. They're-
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And the variety here, from Pils to
Yes.
Porter
Yeah.
to IPA, then back to like a farmhouse. And by back to, I mean like something, you don't see that too much here on the
What's terrific is I can't remember the last show I did where like it was like, oh, by the way, we also had to have like a hazy IPA here.
That's true. It was like,
what do you think of the difference of these 6 hazy IPAs that we brought you?
you know what?
That was total accident to have a hazy IPA. We got through a Pilsner, which was delicious.
Yeah.
Then we got the Baltic Porter, which
Yeah.
was fantastic.
The West Coast.
A West Coast IPA.
Which you liked, which is very rare for you.
Total happenstance to have a haze boy. That's
Oh, wait, we have one of those somewhere. Let me see. Can I get that?
that's just terrific.
Yeah, just throw it out there.
Well, it's fun. It keeps it fresh for us. And, they all start with beers that we're drinking, and it's like, oh, that's really good, but I'd like to push it in this direction or.
I mean, this is the way that you've always been,
Yeah.
right? This is
Yeah.
still keeping up with
Yeah.
what you've been the essence of over the course of the last.
Yeah, well, when you think when we
decade and more.
started, 14, 15 years ago, this is what, was the impetus behind things.
Yeah.
And you got to keep that going.
And you
Otherwise,
have a
just-
lot of different series. Like over the years, you've done, like you have the farmhouse, and then you have the sounding series,
We
and,
had some
you've-
hoppy beers we did, some, all kinds of different
you had
stuff.
one with like
And
a
it's-
submarine. I remember seeing it. In, like
The Far Out
Far
There
Out There.
series.
yes, the
Far Out
far.
There
Yes,
series, yeah.
yes. And that was good too. I mean, you
Yeah.
guys can do it all. That's the thing. Like you show your versatility through a lot of these series that you guys are putting out there. And so now the next, evolution of that is this farmhouse series,
Yeah.
which is
Awesome.
fantastic. It's
you.
delicious. And I'm still drinking some other side, which I'm going to be drinking.
That's fine. So are the rest of us, probably.
Yeah. still go back to the chorus. Really appreciate you guys coming in. Anything
thanks
to
for having
announce?
much.
Let's
It was
get
a
the
great
big plug.
conversation. Yeah.
We got
What do you guys want to throw out
Reggae
there?
Fest this weekend at the
Yeah.
brewery.
Reggae Fest?
Reggae Fest at
God
the
damn it.
brewery.
Hold on. Now I got to check my calendar.
Maritime has been rescheduled.
Maritime, I guess.
Sorry, when was
rescheduled.
Oyster Fest? The 8th?
Yes. Oyster
Boom.
Fest, October 8th. Let's go.
You said you're on a fire truck?
Yeah, we are.
We're pouring beers on the fire truck. So.
Pete, what does it say on
Excellent.
October 8th for me?
That says Family Fun Day.
Boom!
Ooh, it's gonna be
Got
great.
it going. I know what we're doing for Family Fun
Enjoy.
Day.
I hope
just
you
put it on there.
have been practicing your amateur oyster shucking.
I can't shuck
there is
worth
a
shit, so
shucking contest.
I'm not the
Start
shucker.
practicing now. You got plenty of time.
I gotta go. I live by
Got a
Southside.
bucket of oysters.
I gotta go to Southside Seafood Restaurant and have the guy there show me because he can shuck some stuff over there. I'm good with that. What else? What else you guys
So
got going
Reggae
on?
Fest,
Reggae
Oyster
Fest.
Fest,
Maritime on the
Maritime
21st.
on the 21st.
Which will include our first annual cardboard boat race, which besides all the beer
in the
we
harbor?
make is the most beautiful teamwork experience I've ever seen in my life. Where like we had all of our engineer-based people or all of our decorative people, all of our community-based people come together, make a cardboard boat. We're going to put it in the water in that marina and we're going to win.
How many rolls of duct tape?
10.
Damn it!
I won't give away our secrets.
Damn it!
we did maybe buy cases of duct tape
That might have
from
happened.
Uline.
Maybe
Is that the secret? I didn't even know that was a
decorative
secret.
duct tape,
I thought flex tape was the secret.
No.
Flex tape.
Not
Illegal?
allowed.
Is that on the ban
Illegal.
list?
Banned.
Ever since he cut that rowboat in half and sealed it with flex tape, you can't
Dude,
do
that
that
guy
anymore.
Can't
has
do it again.
not since what's
Billy Mays.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that is he's
I know.
He's the new Billy
Billy
Mays.
Mays. Of course he is. And for the future, what are we looking at for like this season? It is, let's say, the non-touristy season, right? So what do you guys do at Peconic and Greenport to kind of keep the party going through the colder
Winter
months?
seasonals. this
Yeah,
year.
so winter seasonals, off-season IPA, kind of a little bit maltier, kind of Simcoe-driven IPA that we really really like.
Season high.
Season High, which is another West Coast style IPA.
Double weight.
Oh, it's a double IPA?
we're
Is that the
gonna-
one, the higher ABV one?
Season High.
Oh, no,
I
it's a
think,
double
is
other
still-
side.
Yeah,
I think it's like
yeah,
7,
yeah,
8.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're gonna do an imperial wit beer for the winter, which could be fun.
Interesting.
Just kind of going back to think of Southampton Public House double
Yeah.
white.
Yes.
Double white, yeah. Kinda
I think I
another
still have a
OG
picture
beer.
in like my deep archives of the Southampton like placemat that you got.
It was a
Yeah.
Jones
Oh,
you
yeah.
can put your
last
beers
time I
all
had
on
it.
and everything. That's another one that's in my my Think New York, Drink New York app. That's right there. It's like probably Heartland,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna go back through it. We'll do it after the show.
All right.
Quick question though, Pete. How many do you think those double IPAs I can drink? 17?
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
I will challenge. I mean,
No, don't challenge me because I won't do it. That's 17 too many. 16 ounces. I need a catheter for that.
let's find out.
no.
Oyster Fest sounds like a good place. for
Yes,
this all.
I think if anyone wants to
What
join
better
us,
way to enjoy Family Fun Day than to see your dad take down 17 double IPAs?
oh my god.
Well, at least you
And then
know he's
embarrass
a winner
himself.
now.
Well, at
I
least,
guess.
my-
Daddy, don't do it
and then have to spend a few nights on the couch.
Thank God my wife's license is not suspended, so we're good to go. Guys, really appreciate you coming in. Obviously, check it out on Greenport Brew on Instagram, Facebook, Threads now, Twitter, anything that you can find out. Just type in Greenport Brewing,
It's called
Greenport
X
Harbor
now,
Brewing.
Mike.
What?
It's called X now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm still going to say
Formerly
Twitter.
known
Yeah.
as.
I will forever call it Twitter.
But
So,
Greenport Brew.
Greenport
is,
Brew.
is where we're at
Yep.
for everything.
so everything, right?
All
Good-
the socials.
all the
All the
socials.
socials.
All the spyware.
And thanks a lot for coming in.
Yeah, thanks
Good
for
time.
having
Thanks so
us.
much. This was a really great
It's good.
conversation. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed
Same.
it. It was,
Yeah,
it
we're gonna-
was really good.
Yeah.
I'll see you on October 8th. That's a damn sure. This is the Wort with Mike, Pete, and Steve, GovsRadio.com. Thanks a lot for everyone checking us out on Instagram. We'll be live on Facebook and live on YouTube in 2 weeks with our buddies from Coastal down in New Jersey. But check out this show. It's going to be up on Spotify, on iHeart. Yep, it's going to be
On Rhapsody.
No, not on
Napster.
Rhapsody. Nope. Nope. It's going to be on Spotify. I said that already. iTunes. It's going to be on Amazon.
All
and
your
it's going to be on the...
favorite
LimeWire.
BitTorrent sites.
No, LimeWire. It's going to be on the Hopped Up Network. So check out the replays and all of our other shows over the last 6.5 years or
How
so.
about ham radio?
Ham, yes. N2QPA used to be my handle on ham radio. I used to have a ham radio license.
I totally believe it.
N2QPA, yes. I used to talk to people
that-
out in
it
like
makes
Wyoming
sense.
and such. We used to talk about random stuff. I'm telling you,
I
it
don't
wasn't
wanna
anything
know.
weird, but it was
It-
prior to
it was
social
probably
media.
pretty weird.
Now it's a lot of like.
It's probably pretty weird and I'm pretty.
Considering they're from Wyoming, everything's weird, right? So how much cattle do you have? Like, how many cattle do you have as a family member? All right, anyway. So thanks a lot for joining us. This is the Wort with Mike, Pete, and Steve. Steve wasn't here. I don't know where he ended up.
Somewhere between here and North Carolina.
No, he's home because he checked in on Instagram, and maybe that was Diana checking in for him. Probably listening to it in the car. That'd be very nice. But Steve, you'll be sorely missed, but we will check him out
miss you,
in
Steve.
2 weeks. And yeah, I mean, anything before we get out of here?
I have nothing.
No, you have your normal.
No, he's dead. I
Yeah,
don't have anything
no,
yet.
what do you mean he's dead?
Bob Barker's dead.
No, it doesn't matter. You got to say that. Keeps the legacy.
That's Pete and
This is the Wort with Mike, Pete, and Steve, GovsRadio.com. Thanks a lot for checking us out.
Dead.
No, but it doesn't matter. You keep saying that, but you still have to say it. We out.
Well, that's 2 hours of your life that you'll never get back.
Are you kidding me?
Please hang up and try again.